go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Racekraft Simulations V8 Veterans action for Season 24. Round 3 this evening out here at Long Beach Street Circuit for the Split 2 action. I'm your commentator Hamish Munro, joined once again by the great Brett Fisher alongside Brett. We've got a massive cornucopia of concrete jungle action here this evening as we roll on in for some California love, and we come into this race tonight where there's a lot of pressure on some of the current championship contenders. 2 separate winners thus far in the first 2 rounds, and Long Beach could definitely give us an opportunity for a 3rd different winner this season. It's going to take consistency, it's going to take patience, and it's going to keep saving or keeping the car out of the long pit lane here at Long Beach. First of all, Brett, how are you? Second of all, how excited are you for this race tonight? Because I love this track, and I'm excited.
Mate, I am super pumped. I'm pumped beyond belief. You know, welcome to the jungle. This is going to go off here tonight, I reckon. It's going to be one hell of a race. It's going to be a cracker. It's going to be, it's going to be a party. It's going to be all sorts of things, I think, tonight, Hamish.
Yeah, I think, you know, tonight's race is going to offer us up just some different... maybe some different challenges this season. It's a track where if you can run well, it gives you a drop round in your back pocket for the remainder of the season. It really helps solidify a championship challenge. If you have a poor run here tonight, well, you are saved by the fact that you have got that drop round in use, but it's good to come out of Long Beach with the drop round still in your back pocket, solid points on the board, and it could be a championship deciding sort of race. Even though we're so early on in the season, if a driver can have a good run here and then continue to have good runs throughout the season, that will keep them within that championship fight, and it will actually put them and a bit, so it kind of takes them out of the pressure cooker a little bit. It kind of puts the valve open a bit, keeps the pressure off them, because the drivers have poor runs tonight. They're going to have more and more pressure on them throughout the rest of the season, especially with 3 new tracks coming at them across the rest of this season. Of course, Portland next week, the Bend in a couple of weeks' time, and then Misano for round 9 as well. So for drivers, they want to try and keep themselves clean tonight, so then when they're learning those new tracks this season, they at least have a mistake in the back pocket, we'll say. Let's have a quick look, though, at this beautiful circuit down here in Long Beach, California, of course. Not too far away, obviously, from LA here in California. We trickle our way on down. The closest racing circuit in terms of road racing would be Laguna Seca, which is also in the state of California here in the US, as well as we traverse our way on down towards Long Beach, though. I love this place. This is my favorite street circuit in the world. It's one of my top 5 favorite tracks on the iRacing service. I love when we get to come racing here. I love calling races here, and I love doing a race here as well. It's a track that is difficult. It's a track that has got its own little difficulties about it, alongside obviously the concrete barriers, the lack of runoff, and the lack of overtaking opportunities too. But you look at the street circuit from above here, Brett, and you think, oh, there's a lot of overtaking opportunities. There's more than what you think, and it depends how comfortable you are here and how well you can set them up, because I can see at least probably 3 passing opportunities off the face of it. Turn 1, turn 6, turn 9, they're probably your best shouts. Can make moves into 11, but it's tough.
And the other thing you got to remember too, it's not just the passing opportunities; it's the forced errors or the unforced errors that may happen in front of you or around you that will give you an opportunity as well. Because like you were saying before, the pressure cooker is it's still on, and I think with those concrete walls, that's just adding another element to the pressure that we're going to find around here. And you push hard on pressure, and things sort of come unstuck.
Yeah, they do, and it's a short track. It's a short lap time. It's around about 1 minute and 20 odd seconds for the lap time here. But the other major factor is that long pit lane. It's roughly a 1 minute traversal time down the pit lane. So if you are forced to come through pit lane for any extra reasonings other than your 2 stops tonight, whether that's for a drive-through penalty, whether that's for an extra stop because of damage, your race, pretty much you could almost write a line through your name at that point, because you're going to give up so much time having to come through pit lane. And the statistics show us that it's not always going to be a safety car chaos-filled race. The last time we were here, we went green the whole way. We didn't get a single safety car out here on circuit. No, not last time, the time before, because last time we had the safety car controversy here. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
So
I remember that great.
So the last 2 times we've had one race which was chaos-filled. The other race was completely green the whole way. You're never guaranteed safety cars here. The percentile of safety cars is just at a higher level because of how tight the track is. The percentage of safety cars is at its highest point on the very first lap. This is the one circuit of the whole calendar where you look at it and you say, probably going to be a safety car lap 1. And you look at it and it's probably going to be a safety car call within the first sector of this circuit. We all start on Shoreline Drive as we then make our way around Bridgestone up towards Toyota at turn 1. This spot here, good passing opportunity. Probably not so much early in the race, definitely later in the race when your tyres are up to temp and you're on the grip advantage as well. If you can make it through 1 nice and easily, you then come up to Aquarium Way for turn 2 and then the Fountain at turn 3. This is where we are very likely going to see a car park scenario early in this race. It's one of 2 spots we are most likely going to see it happen. Or sorry, one of 3 spots we're most likely going to see it happen on lap 1. If we make it through there clean, we then head up to turn 4 and then up towards turn 5, where we often see a lot of self-made mistakes through this corner, not more so driver error causing contact. It's often you either hook the curb, the car then goes round, or you run it wide into the tyre barrier and it ricochets off. So that's the spot there, which is mistake heavy, not contact heavy between drivers.
Yeah, and it's a really tough corner. It's off camber, so you give it that little too much throttle, and the car just steps out. Within a fraction of a second, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and then if you can make it through 5, you then run your way up towards turn 6. This is probably the second major overtaking opportunity of the whole track. If you can line yourself up well off the run out of 5, you can get the car up the inside at 6. You've just got to be careful of the bumps and not turning it in too tight, because you then can hit the wall that's right on the inside of the corner. It actually kind of edges out a little bit as you kind of come through the apex of the corner. Then as you run up over the crest of 7 up Pine Avenue down towards turn 8, this is the beginning of the Formula Drift section of this circuit, where they've run drifting events here prior to now. They would normally start on Seaside Way. If you can get through turn 8, this is the second car park opportunity. We've seen it before. Drivers either clip the wall on the inside and then forces them into the tyre barrier on the left, or they just understeer to the left and contact's made. You'll often see drivers trying to make overtakes here. That leads to contact. It's not an overtaking opportunity unless you have gotten yourself alongside through 6 and 7. As you run it up through 8, though, and you run down Sunside Way, you then sort of start to reset the brain a little bit, Brett, and get ready for this final sector up at Firestone Turn at turn 9. That's our next major overtaking opportunity. Again, get the run through 8, you can get up alongside onto the inside line, you can make the move through turn 9. It is a difficult overtaking opportunity, though, and often we'll see drivers run out of there too wide, up through Indy left at 10, and remain too wide into turn 11 at the hairpin, where we normally see the move get completed. So this circuit's going to be tough. Drivers are going to have to try and figure out where they can best make those overtakes. The danger zones are 2 and 3, turn 8, turn 11. That's where we're going to see the car park scenarios. The overtaking opportunities are turn 1, turn 6, and turn 9. Everywhere else is a real gambit. It's whether you can have it done. And then I think the other big difficulty of this track as well is the horrid pit entry that this track has. And we've seen it before where drivers have come out 11 on the left-hand side. They've gone to turn into pit lane. They've crossed the traffic on their right-hand side, and it's just caused major chaos when it's happened.
Yeah, and I was watching one of the other splits the other night, and that happened. And you close your eyes and you go, oh, yeah, I know what's coming here.
Yeah, it's it's a track where you can guess what's going to happen. You're never quite guaranteed what's going to happen, though. This layout has been used ever since the year 2000, though. It was originally opened in 1975. Turn 1 was actually up where turn 6 is. It would just cut out the fountain section of turn 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It would just go straight into turn 6. 11 turns, though, clockwise. It's a 3.1k circuit, 1.9 miles, the shortest circuit on the whole calendar this season, and it's one that is going to throw up its own challenges to these drivers as well. Out of qualifying, though, and into the warm-up session, and the big names of the championship standings after last week. Well, we obviously had a breakout performance from Brad Doble, which we kind of knew was going to be the case, Brett, especially after his first round where he was ill. He then took his first win in the Vets out at Road Atlanta. And then I think as well,
down with the sickness.
Yeah, he was down with the sickness. Ironically, I'm down with the sickness this week.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was down with the sickness in round 1, made up for it in round 2. And then last week as well, I think another breakout performance for Halil Cesar, his first podium for his new team, his first podium since Interlagos last season, and really solidified his point of being the second seeded driver of the split 2 drivers who stayed here from last season. And he's looking strong already. He's shown good pace here tonight. He's put the car on pole tonight as well. So he could be one to keep an eye on the streets of Long Beach. He has taken a win here before. He'll be able to take his second in the Vets tonight at this circuit.
Yeah, and a point you made before too is that this is a Formula Drift track, and that's 2 American tracks, following on each other, and both of them are drift tracks too. So that's an interesting thing.
Now, I don't know if Formula Drift's ever gone to Portland, but I've seen races there, and there would actually be some sections that would probably actually suit drifting quite well, I must say, out at Portland next week. But what I think is the more interesting point is we've gone to 2 American circuits in a row here, and they're both IMSA circuits. Both tracks are used by IMSA. In multi-class racing of GTP, or at least with Long Beach, it's GTPs and GTD cars, and then for Road Atlanta, they use the whole shebang for the Petit Le Mans, with the GTPs, LMP2s, and GTDs as well out on track. The warm-up session's currently underway. There are drivers out on circuit, including Simon Hedesheed, Michael Jones, Reese Tagoe as well. Championship leader Trent Allen is in the field tonight. as well as those other contenders too. He'll be hoping to hold on to the orange number into Portland next week, but this race and this track will be the deciding factor of that. It won't be how well he can do, it's how well he can survive tonight and where he can finish as well. That will be the deciding factor, and if he keeps it on the side of his car, and of course, you know, with Halil Cesar on pole position tonight, he's getting his practice start happening here. Can he put a challenge to that top spot as well? Because he had a good performance last week. He's got the momentum with him as well. He's a driver to watch. He's a driver that's happy. And I think as well, he's as strong as he's always been, but he's as strong as he's always been with a team around him now as well. And you put those elements together, and it almost becomes a bit of a dangerous scenario for the other drivers out there, because it's a confident driver with a supportive network around him who's just as fast as he's always been, and that's where you start to kind of get the shivers and the sweats happening from the drivers on track.
Sometimes things just start and gel too, like you're just saying there. That things start to work and you get that momentum happening, and it just sort of continues. So we'll see. I mean, obviously he's put the car on pole, but we'll see whether the luck and the magic and the whatever else you want to call it continues tonight for him. But you know, like just looking at these walls, and you're right. Like you had to be precise with your positioning of the car. It was easy to drag it along the wall. Miss slightly in apex, you know, you can run it early, run it wide. You know, there was so many things you had to watch out for. So driving confidently is good, but driving overconfidently is probably not so good. So, you know, and there are going to be people all the way mixed through the field that are going to have a bit of both of those.
How do we think Hoffy can go tonight? Strong performance last week at Road Atlanta, you know, finished inside of the top 10. First two rounds have been kind of up and down for him thus far. I've heard whispers that he wasn't necessarily comfortable with the setup. You know, you mix some uncomfortability with setup and a tough track. Might be a tough night for him on the road. I think what he'd be hoping for is just get a solid night with some solid points, and again, just try and save somewhat of a drop round for later in the season if you can. If you can get a top 20 tonight and that becomes your drop round at the end, well, that's probably actually quite a good result when it comes to round 10 at the end of the season. Might not feel so great right now, though.
Oh, sorry. Had a drink while you stopped talking,
That's
so
fine.
that's no good.
That's fine. I like to catch you out like that, Brett. I like to just...
That's all right. That's all right. It's all good. I'm still here. No one likes dead air, though, do they?
No, they don't. They do not like dead air. We have to fill the air as much as we can. Starting grid, though, for tonight's race. As well as I was wrong, he actually didn't put it on pole. I thought he did.
Yeah, well, that's...
Bruce Tannick.
And I was wrong, too, after you being wrong.
Yeah, I was. We were both wrong. He put it on the front row. That was the point I was trying to make. I blame COVID for me being wrong there. I don't know what you're going to blame, Brett, but that's what I'm going to blame.
You.
No, okay, fair enough. Bruce Tannick has put the car on pole tonight in the 123 car, fresh off his round ban last week at Road Atlanta, so be hoping to build up some solid points tonight. Halil Cesar will start alongside him on the front row, so he wants to stamp his mark, Brett, and he's done that by putting the car on pole, but it's an uphill battle from here after having an undroppable round ban last week for Tannick. Blanchard, Mackay in behind him, Quain, DeGoey, the top 6, Brad Doble, Simon Heddersheed, the top 8. Yourself, Brett, inside the top 10. A great qualifying effort starting alongside Darren Crosby.
I was pumped.
Oh, I'm sure you were, Brett. I'm sure there were a couple of crackers that have been chomped into after that result. Matt Monday, Paul Burns, then will make up our 6th row of the grid. As we then look back to Shane Randall and Simon Haynes, with championship leader Trent Allen starting inside the top 15, Matt Scholes, Chad Viger and Michael Jones with the top 18, Tim Mulford, Mick Clifton, Alistair Bales and Rick Viger in the top 22, Todd Duggan and Andrew Hoffman then make up our top 24. Robert Crisdale, Matt Stoyles, Scotty Weston start ahead of Damon Fisher, Ben Brook and Jeremy Bush. Robbie Griffiths, Derek Lovegrove, Brett Taylor, Brenton O'Brien, Nick Hasler and Wade Reynolds then make up our 36 cars, with Adrian Zeal and Mario Reali starting at the back end of the field tonight. And you look at that grid and you look at that top 10, and there's 2 drivers inside the top 10 who currently would be championship contenders, those being Halil Cesar and Brad Doble. Of course, Brad took the race win last week. Halil's up and in the top 3 of the championship. You look at the guys who are around them leading into this round: Chad Viger, Trent Allen, Mick Clifton, Robert Crisdale, all those guys outside the top 10 and an uphill battle for them tonight.
Just goes to show you how tight this split is. You know, and we could go through and have a look how tight all the qualifying times are and things like that. But that's how quickly the field can be. You know, you make a tiny error and it drops you through the field, you know, for making one tiny mistake, or you might just not get it 100% right.
Well, the strategy is going to have to play off for them here tonight if they hope to challenge for a race win or even a top 10, try and stay out of trouble as well. Of course, the major factor we always have to remember is the first lap incidents that can occur down at the fountain of 2 and 3, up at turn 8 and then down at turn 11 as well. We can very easily see a car park scenario on lap 1 that will almost immediately call a safety car for us, because we cannot have the track jammed if the leaders have been able to break away, especially if it's early in the lap. Lights up though for the drivers at Long Beach. Welcome to the concrete jungle as Bruce Tannock breaks away off the start-finish line. Cesar's gone with him well. Mackay's had a good start, as is Quang, DeGoey, Blanchard, Doble and Heddersheed trying to follow them through as well as they run it down towards turn 1 for the first time here this evening.
Entry turn 1 at the moment. Looks like everyone's getting through nice and cleanly there.
Oh, I've just seen there's a couple of drivers just getting a little bit bumpy here, and that's a car spun round, and that's yourself, Brett, who's been spun round there, and the track is jammed down at the fountain. Safety car is almost a, well, at that stage, I think we can safely say the safety car is going to be called. It is a literal car park down at the fountain.
At that point, I was working for Wilson's car parking, and I was taking coin. I was looking around the wrong way, and it was not good. I didn't know how to get myself. My brain went blank. My brain actually dead set went blank. I'm going, how do I get myself out of this one?
I'm not surprised at all, as the safety car has indeed been called here. So the safety car will make its way out on track, and the drivers will line up in behind the safety car as well. So Tannock, who leads the way, will of course not have too much of a gap between him and Halil Cesar in P2. Tim Mulford in pit lane early here, so he's taken an early gamble. He wasn't caught up in the car parking scenario down at the fountain, but he's obviously coming in to just maybe roll the dice a little bit, take some free fuel, and push on to the next stop. Maybe it won't
count as a compulsory, because obviously we're on
it won't count as a compulsory. But I think maybe the thought process for him is he's going to save himself green time through the pit stop later. But then the X factor of that is he's now deep in the pack. Yeah, and that's the one place you don't want to be around here, is deep in the pack, because if you're up the front, you've got clean air around you and you can just sort of push on. Anywhere from probably 10th place down is not ideal, because you then start to get kind of condensed together a little bit more.
Watching a few, Hoffy in pits, Damon Fisher in pits, Burns, Bush, O'Brien, Reynolds and Zeal in pits. So they're all, those guys obviously thinking about that same sort of scenario, less time on track during race to fuel up.
I think if you started at the back and you were already there, beneficial.
There's no harm.
It's a beneficial dice roll, because it could get you free positions later, and then if you can keep your race clean and naturally make up positions through pure progression, that will give you some benefit as well. Brad Grant in the chat saying car handles better with full fuel, doesn't it? It does around here, because just the balancing of the car works out a little bit better. But I think the front runners don't want to waste a pit stop and waste track position when they know as soon as we get a green lap, we're going to be in CPS period, and they're not going to be wasting their traverse through pit time, or through pit lane, by coming through for a stop that won't actually count towards their compulsory pit stops. Obviously saying his car was broken, so there were a couple of cars who would have had to have pit to fix their car.
Yeah, well, because of that car park that I caused, yeah, they might have had a bit of nose to tail action there. Yeah, and that might have obviously warranted coming in to get them repaired. And as you're saying about, you know, the leaders coming into pits early and things like that, yeah, you don't want to, like, if you come back out on track and you're behind guys that are holding you up and you can't get past them, that's valuable time lost as well that you're not going to get back.
Yeah, this is a track where if you've got lap pace around here, because it's so hard to make overtakes, if you've got lap pace around here, you want to be able to use it to your advantage. You want to be in the clean air at the front. You know, Tanik and Cesar, I mean, they're obviously the two fastest guys on track tonight. These guys want to keep their cars at the front. They're very likely going to go long on their strategy so they don't get caught up in the battle pack traffic in behind them. Because again, that will allow them to build up gap with their pure lap pace. When they get to lap traffic, the lap traffic's not going to make it overly difficult for them to get past. Where when you're deep in the field, cars are battling you for position. Doesn't matter who it is. You know, we often say pick your battles, especially if you're deep in the field and you're battling with someone who's had a pit stop. They don't always do that. So that then makes it really hard for you when they want to defend for their life, when they are not actually when you're not their battle on track, because you're just offset with your pit stop strategy. So I think sometimes some drivers maybe need to think about that in future, but we also can't guarantee that's going to happen, and they have a right to defend the position because it is for racing position. But then there's also the raceman's rule of, well, if someone's had a pit stop and they're faster than you, you're only holding yourself up by battling with them and holding them up. So that can make it a bit hard.
Definitely. Yeah, and I was unsure. I didn't know that I'd lost my front splitter at this point either for myself, and wasn't sure. I knew the car wasn't handling absolutely pristinely, but I didn't know how badly damaged it was. So I was a bit unaware that I had lost the front splitter, and I was concerned with what was my full race pace going to be, whether the car was going to do anything weird, and I was hoping just not to sort of pit too early. I wanted to try and keep on strat a little bit, but and as I can see there, I have no front nose, so that explains a lot.
I feel like we need a track, Brett, which has the walls covered in mirrors, so as you're driving around, you can check if your car has damage or not.
Yeah. Well, if you've got your teammate in front of you or something like that, it's all right.
They can
say, mate,
you.
have I got my splitter on or what?
And there are some drivers who'll be running around, especially if we're under safety car. They'll get over the radio and say, "Hey, just so you're aware, you're actually missing your front end." And they'll do that and they'll let you know. So there are drivers out there who will do that. There are others who will go full strategy and not tell you in case you don't know, just so they can get an advantage. So which is fair enough to them. Trent Allen has had a great start in this race. He's already up 6 spots into the top 10 now, so he's done well to avoid some of that early carnage on that one. Chris Dale did a good job as well, up 10 to avoid some of that carnage too. Haynes is up 2, Viger up 3, Clifton up 4. Stoyles is technically up 6, so is Weston's up 5. There are some drivers who've had natural gain thanks to drivers coming in on that one to take a pit stop. Safety car's pulling away, so we're going to be going green at the end of this lap. And we'll get ready to rumble once again in the jungle right here for Long Beach, California. It's a tough circuit. We've had no green laps of this race. Lap 1, well, technically wasn't finished before the safety car was called. So we are yet to go from line to line of a full green lap. If we make it to the end of this lap without a safety car called, it will open up the CPS period. If we don't, well, then we'll have to wait a little bit longer for that to happen. Tanik exits the final corner, and he's put the foot down to restart this race. Lap 5.
It looked like he had a little bit of a balk in mid-turn there, and it looked like he was going to get all the way around, but obviously he's got it sorted. Cesar right on his ginger here. So Cesar's keen to get this party started. Lorne Mackay and Quain following very closely behind. Here we go, through there for the first time under race conditions safely, at this point anyway.
Let's hope the whole field makes it through there safely. We don't want to, call the cart before the horse, but they have done well to make it through there at that stage. Reese are going under pressure at the moment here from Chris Blanchard as they run down towards turn 6. They've got Hedesheed and the man of last week, Brad Doble, took his first win in the Vets right here in Split 2, so that's a little note for him. He'll be hoping to try and back up a similar sort of performance tonight. Didn't really have the pace in qualifying to get the car further up front. It kind of showed that obviously Halil and Tanik have a little bit more pace over him this evening. Same thing for Trent Allen. For Trent, he has to try and keep this race consistent now. If he's struggling for pace here, consistency is what is going to benefit him. If you recall, we mentioned the driver who's going to win this championship is going to be someone who wins at least 2 races this season. Well, Trent Allen and Brad Doble are already halfway there. But the more races that we have, and the more drivers that win a race, the less amount of time these drivers have, and the less amount of opportunities they have to win that crucial second race to really lock themselves in as a guaranteed contender this season.
Yeah.
But it's not just the 2 wins, you've got to be consistent with it as well.
But it's a mixed bag up the front, like you were saying before, so we'll see whether the cream rises to the top at the end of this race, and we'll see way out, see who's going to be happy with their championship.
Ooh,
So far as we see Bales.
Oh, that there was a massive lunge. It's a blown engine. That car is parked in a very, very innocuous position. This could likely be a second safety car in 6 laps as the leader.
Says on Tanik.
He's right on him.
Like he's right on him. So he's really, both of these guys are feeling pretty comfortable with their cars and way they're handling at the moment. So it'll be, once we're under safety car, but it'll be good to see once we get going again how these guys battle it out.
Well, it appeared there that Alistair was almost going for a dive down the inside into turn 1 and just outbroke himself and put the car straight into the wall. You saw the engine blow as soon as he hit it as well. Front runners are going to come in, of course. It's the first CPS opportunity of the race. We have done green laps, so this pit stop will count for them. If you're the back markers who pit on lap 1, you're also licking your lips a little bit because the field is still close, and you can now put a bit of extra fuel in, which will count as a CPS, and you'll get some free positions throughout it as well. Monday and Chad Viger have stayed out, as has Michael Jones. That could be a crucial mistake, especially for Chad, who's currently in the top 3 of the championship. This here could be a championship ruining moment of the season. And again, we often say you can take these races, part and parcel on their own, but we only get the full story when we get to the very end of the season, and we may look back on this race and say this could have cost Chad Viger if he can't make up for it later on.
Be interesting to see what his thoughts were there, whether he missed the opportunity or whether he was trying to stay on a strat, or it'd be interesting to see what was going through his mind at that point anyway. And I must say a big shout out to Chad too. So he dropped into our room and we had a bit of a discussion about the incident on lap 1. It was just one of those things, so all good between us.
Well, there is one thought process here. So, of course, Monday, Viger and Jones and Griffiths have all taken track position. Fisher's taken track position after pitting on lap 1. We mentioned how crucial the track position can be.
Yeah.
This may not put them out of the woods just yet because we're still early on in this race, and the more carnage there is, the better this will actually play out for them, because it'll mean there'll be more cars who are a lap down. If they can go long here, and when I say long, because we've had a couple of safety cars, these guys can probably extend their stint out now to around about lap 20.
Yeah, because it was about 17.
Yeah, they may actually find some natural gain. Now, Monday's up 10, so he started, around the back end of the top 10. Viger's up 15, Jones is up 15. Griffo and Fisher are the real big gainers out of this. They're both up a multitude of positions. 27 for Griffo, 23 for Fisher. If they can work this out between them, and it pays off later in the race, again, keeping themselves clean, keeping the car clean, being able to fight their way forward, it could pan out. It's a massive dice roll. A massive dice roll. But sometimes you have to gamble.
Sometimes you've got to gamble. If you're
Griffo and your Fisher,
what's the definition of?
If you're Griffo and your Fisher, you've got nothing to lose because you're up. You're out the front of the field. You were always going to be at the back. This could pay off for you now later in the race if you can keep it up here. So this dice roll is worth it for them. I don't know if it's as worth it for Viger, Monday, and Jones, who started within the top 20 of this race.
Just trying to have a quick look through the pit stop times, seeing what sort of times. There's a couple of short fills there, which.
Well, of course, Mulford has to short fill because he pitted on lap 1. But that's put him back up to P18. So he's actually, he did all this, he did the wacky strategy of coming in on lap 1 and then coming in now to gain all of 1 position. Now, he will get some more when Monday, Viger, Jones, Griffo and Fisher pit. But how much more can he get? Because how well can the strategy play out for them? These guys have got the track position where they can sit out in clean air and stay out of the trouble, where Tim is still in a innocuous position. He's still in the chaos position of literal mid-pack, where we often see crashes happening the most around here. We hardly ever see it at the front. It's always the mid to the back of the field where these incidents start to happen. So he'll be on edge a little bit in P18. So will Shane Randall in P19. So will Rob Crisdale. So will Matt Scholes. So will Trent Allen, who's back down to P16 in this race. So I'll be very interested to see how this now pans out for them. Safety car has pulled away. So Matt Monday will have control of the field when we come up to the start-finish line. We'll see how well. We'll see where he goes. He's gone on the exit.
Yep.
Oh, big wheel spin.
A little bit of wiggle.
I reckon he exited then in first gear. And as he's gone up through second and third, that's when the rears kind of just slid out on him. But we're back under green conditions. Lap 9 of 63 here for 200 Ks of Long Beach here this evening as Monday leads us in towards turn 1. Viger, Jones, Griffiths, Fisher the top 5. Then we get to Bruce Tannock, the first of the CPS drivers in the field. He has taken a compulsory pit stop, as is Michael Quain, who slightly short-filled the car to get past Halil Cesar in the pit stop, but Halil will get a natural gain back on him in their second stop later in the race. Lord Mackay still up there too, as is Reece Goey. That makes up our top 10. Blanchard, Haynes, Hennessy, Doble, Crosby, the current top 15 at this stage in time. But if Monday, Viger and co can break away and build some gap here, they could be some real net gainers in this race, and this strategy could put them in a very positive position, but there is a lot to lose for them as well.
Just watching Griffiths run wide there, he lost a lot of time there, but he the car sort of just got sideways on him there, so he's probably dropped about a second or so off the back of Jones. He's got Damon running close to him there. And Damon was running fairly good times, I believe, and just didn't quite put his qualifying together where he would have liked.
Of course, Damon Fisher, a man who races on Wednesdays, apparently, according to him.
According to him,
yeah. But, sorry, he has got Bruce Tannock hot on his heels, though, at this stage. Of course, Bruce has shown some good pace tonight. As we said, had his round band last week, so he's on the back foot now this season because last week's race is now an undroppable race. If he can get a solid performance tonight, it would make his round 1 a drop round, but still has some work to do as well. Matty Monday in the chat confirming for us, taking the track position and keeping it clean was the plan. He has given us a little glimpse into the future, saying it didn't work out too well, but we'll see throughout this race how well it does not pay out for Matt Monday. But again, if you're at the back in the position of, you know, Damon Fisher, Robbie Griffiths, worth the dice roll. The percentage of how much it's worth kind of goes down the less positions you gain in this race to get up to the front, with the least percentile being Matt Monday, who's only gained 10 spots with this and could give up many, many more if this strategy does not pay off for him.
Just looking up and down the field too, they're all nose to tail at the moment, so there's not many big gaps in there. There's a lot of racing going on all the way up and down the field, as we can see the massive train coming through here. Brad Doble going right here. So yeah, like you said before, he'd want to just consolidate after his win last week, so he'd be hoping to get a half-decent finish tonight and really put some cement into his championship at this point.
Well, he doesn't want it to be a cement mixer because that could really tumble him down. He'd just like it to be a nice, freshly laid cement slab, nice and solid.
Nice foundation.
Nice foundation. Exactly right. Nice foundation. And that's what you want in Split 2. Foundations which are strong often will lead you through the rest of the championship to a solid charge at the championship challenge as well. But, you know, sometimes you do have a bit of an earthquake in the final round that can then cost you. We've seen it many times before. You just got to hope that sometimes the Richter scale is on your side and that you don't get cracked away in the final round, which of course is undroppable every season, barring a real-life natural disaster, which then can
Hedersheed a little bit sideways out of that corner.
Big sideways run though from Hedersheed, so he's feeling the pressure at the moment. He's trying to get this car forward. It seems to be a lot of cars getting loose, maybe a bit of an unsettled setup here tonight. We mentioned though that drivers were filling on the full tank. It felt a little bit nicer than on the half fill of where it was. Now it's not a complete full tank. They only have 70% capacity tonight on the tank, so only 93 litres available to them to fill the car. They had to make it home by putting in a total of 126 odd litres throughout this race as well. But we'll see how well some of these drivers do.
I must say Simon Haynes just in the picture that Simon Haynes just in the picture there as well, doing quite well. I mean, he's up 2 spots at the moment. So in corrected order, you know, he's sitting quite well in that car at the moment. He actually got a great start, shot past me on the start, gained a number of positions on that starting lap, and he's oh geez, let me take my words in for a second. But no, he's doing quite well.
So Luke Coleman's asking if Damon Fisher has done 2 stops by this point. He's only done 1, and he did it on lap 1, so he's yet to do his 2 CPSs in this race. So he's gone for a dice roll. We'll see if the dice roll's paid off for him here tonight, or if he's going to come up with snake eyes at the end of it as well. A couple of other big gainers thus far. Wade Reynolds currently up 13 spots, has done 2 stops, one of which is only a CPS when he pitted on lap 6. But he was one of the beneficiaries of pitting on lap 1 and then taking his second stop not too far after. As Paul Burns has had a moment here with Alistair Bales at the back of the field. So Bales has just come back through again. Todd Duggan out there as well, so hopefully he can have a good run tonight. But yeah, Burnsy and Bales just having a slight incident together further back in the field. Tim Mulford, to give the update on him, he's still in P18 with Shane Randall and Robert Crisdale chasing him down. Then there's Mick Clifton in P21. And if you look at his position comparatively to Halil Cesar's, of course these guys are very close on points this season. It's not looking like the best night for Mick at the moment, but plenty of racing to happen. Plenty of chaos could happen still as well. And for yourself and Mick here, can make up moves.
Yeah, well, you never know what's going to happen, do you, at the end of the race? I mean, I have a, you know, basically head down, bum up, just trying to sort of do the best I can with what I had. A fresh car, knowing the fact is that I didn't want, and you can see on Mick's car there, in the walls quite a fair bit. And I knew that I had already used my fast repair, so you know, early in the race, that was something that was quite prevalent on my mind, that I had to keep the car as clean as possible.
Yeah, there are quite a few drivers who've already now used their fast repair in this race, so if they get caught in trouble later on, that will take them out of this race effectively. It'll be giving them long repair times. If you're in Alistair Bales' position, who's already blown an engine and used a fast repair as well, if he blows another engine, that'll be his night done and dusted. They will not have time to replace the engine in the pit stop as a required repair. So he'll also be on wood a little bit in terms of the pressure that's being applied to him at the moment. Michael Quain, though, is currently under pressure from Halil Cesar as Bruce Tunnick's putting the pressure here on Damon Fisher in towards turn 1. So the effective race leader is trying to fight his way through and break away from the effective podium behind him and Michael Quain and Halil Cesar. He wants to put a car between him and them in terms of Damon Fisher, who still needs 2 spots. He wants to try and make every corner an overtake opportunity tonight, does Bruce Tannick, but you've also got to be cautious when you go for them, because very easily you can get overextended upon yourself, and that can cause you to end up in tears towards the end.
And I mean, look, he's just lost that car length to Damon there, but you can see how much pressure he's coming under from behind there now from Quain, and Cesar not too far either. So like almost there, how close Cesar was coming out of that corner on Quain. So this could be on for young and old down the end here.
Could very well be on for them.
Tannick's going back on Damon there as well.
He's just back up on him, putting the pressure back up on him as well. I feel like if he can get the run out of this corner, he may want to try and go for it at turn 1. But Damon's got a good drive out of the last corner there. I think Bruce may be a little bit too far away to have a go of it this time by, but he's got to try and cover Michael Quain if he starts to get close to him and Bruce starts to push too hard and makes mistakes.
Quain qualified really, really well this round too, so he's shown that he's got plenty of pace there. So he'd be looking at to have a good round as here at Long Beach as well. Oh, Tanek just got right tucked underneath the rear wing of Damon then. Geez, that could have been very unfortunate there for both of them at that point, but luckily they both survived that one.
Look at the pressure that's currently being applied as well. You know, we mentioned the pressure from Queenie, but the visual pressure that's on Tanek here, it's such, and this is a tough place to withstand that pressure, because obviously you've got the pressure of the track of keeping it clean, but you mix that with the pressure of trying to make an overtake on the car ahead of you, and then with the pressure of the cars in behind you as well. It all comes together, you know, as this giant pressure pot that at any moment could explode. If you make
Damon
a mistake, Damon's running wide though. That could let Tanek pass here. Side by side up through turn 10. Wide run for Tanek. Can he tuck it up the inside? Damon gave him plenty of room. As slow as ever, Tanek comes through. Quain makes it a double as well. And now Cesar will try and make the move on Fisher when he can, because he does not want to let Michael Quain and Bruce Tanek run away with things just yet as he gets it past Fisher before turn 1. Don't be surprised though if Damon comes back at him, he just backs out of it in the end. So 3 for 1 special in the span of a few corners, and Damon Fisher's got some work to do to make it back up.
Yeah, I get the feeling that Bruce obviously was finding that that Damon was holding him up there enough to make that really, I wouldn't say desperate pass, but my word, that was a pretty aggressive pass. He just put the car through there,
but he got it done. You know, it was aggressive, but he made it work. I would say it was probably a better, like, he was already alongside him before the last corner, which helped. It wasn't a late bomb by any means, as Michael Jones has caught trouble. He's blinking in and out, and he's parked up on the side of the road. So more free spots now for those drivers. I think if it was a late lunge into 8 or into turn 4, you probably then call that a bit desperate. But he was at least alongside him prior to turn 11.
Yeah, and I just want to clarify, when I say he was aggressive, I don't mean, here we go, Caesar on the outside of Quain.
Well, you saw how Bruce did it last lap on Fisher. Yeah, the exact same thing on Michael Quain.
That's the exact same thing. And that's
Quain come back in though, and across Fisher's nose. So he went for a wide run, gave plenty of room to Cesar there.
Who's that going into pits? He just lost, that's Mackay.
Yeah, Mackay's just come in.
Yeah, hit the wall.
So Mackay into pit lane. Nick Clifton running as well. So he had a crash, but he's fine. He's still going. But yeah, Lorne Mackay back into pit lane now. Bales is back in pit lane too. I'd say that might be his race done tonight. But yeah, Cesar saw how Tanek did it on the last lap on Fisher and said, I'll have a bit of that on Michael Quain. Fair play to Quain, he gave him plenty of room, but Fisher just snuck the nose in at probably the wrong time, and as he came through the corner, round he went. So Quain won't be happy with that, neither will Damon.
Doesn't look like there's any damage on Quain's car there. And I just want to quickly go back and clarify.
Matt Monday, Matt Monday's just had a moment down at turn 8, and he's just lost the lead to Chad Viger. I also noticed then Bruce Tanek ran it a little bit wide as well. Michael Jones has blown his motor back there too, so it's all chaos at the moment. Griffo's now made it past his teammate. Couple of splitters here. I mean, it's pure chaos in us trying to keep up with things here. It's amazing, isn't it? You have one incident. It was Matt Monday's split up.
Monday's. Yep.
It's amazing, isn't it, Brett? You don't have any incidents, and then all of a sudden you just domino effect one after the other on completely different sections of the track. It
just doesn't take much. It only takes you a fraction offline. You know, I mean, even on this front straight, as you're seeing, got some action happening down here.
Chrisdale down there have just had contact as well. And Chrisdale spun the wrong way round, so...
there's another blown motor there as well.
I think that was still Michael Jones who's just entered pit lane. That there was Chrisdale on the rejoin. Contact with Paul Burns. So this is really starting to heat up here as Matt Scholes and Tim Mulford have had contact at one as well.
Yep.
So, it's, when it rains, it pours, and the more and more incidents that are
car
occurring.
side by side here going through the fountain. Wow, it's going off. People are getting, people are seeing blood in the water. Oh, nearly run wide there.
I mean, feel the rain on your skin, but it's a downpour of incidents that are happening right now. Emotions are high, pressure is high as well. And
there's a lot of damage
on
Scholes'
car. Almost looks, you could either argue he's either been rear-ended by Mulford, which I don't know if Mulford actually has any damage. No, he's got a little bit of damage on the front. I'd say maybe Mulford's given him a little knock, and the rear of the car's then gone into the tyre barrier, and that's why the rear is off of Matt Scholes' car. But we finally get to take a breath after all that.
Yeah, she's pretty intense.
Pretty intense. I feel like I'm camping. It's that intense.
Oh.
I'm glad that one just clicked for you. I was sitting there waiting in silence. Was like, wait for it.
No, I'm just like, oh, Jesus. Anyway, that's good.
Rick Feiger, Adrian Seal have also claimed they had a crash, but I think that was just them going slow in the last corner. Chad Weiger leading the way though, 5.9 seconds over Robbie Griffiths at this stage. Matt Munday still out there without the front splitter. That is allowing Bruce Tannick and Halil Cesar just to chase him down at the moment. Remembering they came in on lap 6. So these guys now could probably extend themselves out to roughly lap 30 to lap 40 on this stint.
Oh, look at Cesar.
He's on him. He is on him.
Tannick is got the pace, and you can see how quickly, once he got past Damon, that he broke away and took off. Obviously, a few things have happened to bring him back, but Cesar is really laying the pressure down on Tannick right now. You can just see the attitude of the car. He has got this thing by the horns, and he's making it run.
Yeah, he's putting massive pressure on him. We mentioned in the sort of pre-race briefing. Cesar is a confident driver now. Of course, he's got the new team environment. He's just as fast as ever. But it's amazing how a team environment, when you've not been in a team before,
Monday in pits.
How much Monday comes in to fix that car, how much that can positively affect your racing going forward.
Yep.
So for Halil, obviously he's always been a strong driver, but he's always been a privateer. He's always been out there on his own. When all of a sudden you've got teammates around you who you can practice with and throw ideas off, the pace you get and the lift you get is immense. I mean, it's incredible how much progression a driver can get when they get to that level, whilst being surrounded by good teammates with them too. So for Halil,
I love watching. Sorry, kick up.
No, I was going to say, I think for Halil, he proved last week he's on a strong run of form, and tonight, if he can keep this clean, he could be on for a second podium in a row.
I love watching these two guys battle it out. You can almost see what they're thinking, as they're driving. Cesar just going on a slightly different line, slightly different grip level, putting the car in different places to sort of try and see what advantages he can get out. And he was closing the gap big time there. So there's a lot of pressure on Tannick there.
Well, there is Griffo as well.
Griffith's in pit.
He is in pits. He was giving us the rundown then in Chatwell as well. This is why when you start 31st, you don't pit and take the clean air instead. And again, this is where the dice roll can pay off for you. The important thing now for Griffo is he needs to try and find some gain throughout this race and keeping his car clean. I don't know if he's going to be able to fight his way to a top 10 because he still needs a second stop in this race. We're going to get relative positioning of him. When he exits pit lane, that'll be his, relatively speaking, his true position on track because he will need a second stop later in the race. And he is dropping down now towards that P31 where he started. But the important thing is he's kept his car clean, and that sometimes is the best strategy you can take around here.
Angry pack of cars behind Quaney here. Oh, Quaney's just made a big lock up and gone straight ahead. He'd be kicking himself over that one.
Big lock up there from Quaney. That'll drop him outside the top 10. Trent Allen now back up to P11. Yourself, Brett, you just made up a spot 2 on Quaney there. So that's a costly mistake. It's an easy mistake to make, but not one that you want to make too often around here as Chad Weiger's in pit lane.
Yeah, and so easy. You just get a slight pinch of the brake, and it just throws you right out. And yeah, well, I mean, he had more than a slight pinch. Who's this?
That's Nick Hasler down
Nick
at turn
Hasler.
8. Oh, the rejoin!
Across the face.
Oh, that was definitely a rejoin, Brett. I think we can say that. That was definitely a rejoin.
Wow.
I think is Derek Lovegrove wearing dark-coloured pants perchance? That might.
Well, he is now.
Oh, he is. He's got the black pants on, so that'll at least cover up some of the stains.
Right,
but
yeah. Quaney in pits as well.
Yep. So Quain in, Mulford in 2. He can't make it home from this point, so Mulford's actually going to have to commit now to a four-stop strategy tonight. This will be to come in to fix up the front of that car, I would assume. If Mulford's going to pull anything out of this race, it's going to be spectacular because he's going to have to take 4 stops. His critical lap was lap 30 to 31. So, and actually, is he coming through for a drive-through? He is. So it's actually a drive-through penalty.
Oh,
so they've obviously found him at fault for the contact with Matt Scholes a little bit earlier on in the race. Just to give you the rundown though, lap 22 of 63, so we're roughly a third of the way through it. Bruce Tannock leads the way to Halil Cesar, so the front 2 on the grid remain the front 2 at the front of the field. Reese to go, he's up 3 positions into P3 at the moment. Damon Fisher's up 24 into P4, but still needs 2 compulsory pit stops in this race. Chris Blanchard, Simon Haynes, Brad Doble, Simon Hedeshey, Darren Crosby, Mick Clifton makes up the top 10. Corrected into the top 10 though is yourself, Brett, who would be P10 when Damon decides to come in. Your brother giving you an early Christmas gift.
Oh, thank you. That could be sideways out of that corner there. Got a bit happy on the gas.
You may be just overextending that throttle mapping a little bit.
Probably.
Todd Zuggan.
No,
he's just had a moment down at. Oh my God, Toddy. Oh no. And he had a great race last week, and unfortunately for Todd, I found this out after. Oh, and it's contact with Lorne Mackay.
That is massive.
Oh, that's
damage.
huge damage there. I found out on Thursday, Toddy had actually had day surgery and then was still racing on his hooked up on his pain meds. So,
Jesus.
fair play to him having a crack, but
you might want to push the button again. Then, geez, we're still going backwards.
Okay, Lorne, they're still doing the moonwalk down Sunset Avenue. I suppose if he gets you back to pit lane, it works, but he's going to have to turn this car around at some point.
Oh, Tuggan's struggling with that car.
Oh, who's that with big damage? Was that Darren Crosby? It was Darren Crosby.
Like that that's been like that for a few laps.
I mean, the war wounds of Long Beach are really taking their toll on these drivers tonight, it seems. And, we said that the drivers who can keep it clean are going to be the real benefactors of that.
Interesting. Like obviously the for Crosby, the car is not handling too bad. Otherwise, he'd be definitely coming in. But because I know when I lost my front splitter, the thing would not turn.
Oh, Brett Taylor as well. What's happened to him? I've just seen he's off the track, and he's way off track down at turn 9.
Yeah.
So he's overextended. Lorne Mackay's found a spot to turn himself around. He's just backed that in like a truck driver, and now he's going to pull out.
I wonder whether Taylor was just caught up in that attempt to a turnaround.
Well, that there is big damage on the front of Brett Taylor's EWT Camaro.
Broken car.
Very broken car, which is to be expected around here, of course. We said it's either going to be chaos-filled or it's going to be relatively clean, as Mackay is still trying to get this car back to pits. But that's the name of the game of Long Beach. Speaking of the name of game of vets, though, Brett O'Brien, spoken words from his mouth, he struggles to qualify, but this guy does not struggle to build his pace through the field and fight his way through the field. Currently up 17 spots in this race into P17. Scott Weston's up 9 in behind him. Jeremy Bush is up 14. Wade Reynolds now up 22. Matt Stoll's up 14. Clifton up 10. And then Adrian Zeal up 16 positions. Hasler up 11. Lovegrove up 9. Brook up 7 at this stage. So, but Brett O'Brien just slowly but surely sneaking his way forward. And I have the pleasure of commentating with him Monday nights for the Porsche Cup Series. He's a man with a lot of knowledge. Gives good knowledge on his own team because there are a lot of his drivers that race in the series, so he gives a good rundown of those drivers. But he'll admit it. He struggles for one lap pace, but his race pace is off the charts, Brett. If he could qualify, Brett would be far no
was that
doubt.
Bush just running into the wall there?
I think he clipped it.
It looked like he clipped it. No damage on the car, but it definitely looked like he just about clipped it there.
If Brenton could qualify, he'd be dangerous. He'd be dangerous if he could qualify this car at the front of the field. We've seen him do it before, where he qualifies at the front and then he just does not drop. As he's just clipped that wall. That was the exact spot I was talking about earlier down at turn 6. The little bit of wall that kind of hangs out down there. He just clipped it. Weston and O'Brien battling their way through here. Classic mid-pack battles happening here in Split 2, which we often get.
The knock-on effect of one error is huge around this place.
Massive, absolutely massive. It's crucial to try and stay mistake-free if you can. But Weston is hungry for this position on Brett O'Brien, it seems.
And I think sometimes you're so close to the car in front of you that, sometimes the mistake in the front draws you in and you just don't have the time to react and move, or, you can't foresee everything happening. So that's, At 26 of 63 so far, peeled away.
So we're slowly but surely getting through the laps, though. But it feels a lot longer than what it's been. But that comes down to the safety cars. It comes down to the safety cars of about 10 laps of this race we've been under yellow flags. So,
Weston really hampering now O'Brien too.
Yeah. Putting the pressure on him.
And
Rick Viger as well.
Rick Viger's there.
Starting to put the pressure on them too. On board with him now as we run through turn 6. So O'Brien is feeling that pressure from Weston in behind him and just starting.
Swing on O'Brien coming out of that corner there.
So he almost goes for a wide entry just to kind of cut the corner and make it nice and straight for him to get the power down. Work out well throughout the rest of this race.
And I tell you what, as the tyres got older, it wasn't too hard to make a slight braking error and pinch the front or the back, or however you have your brake bias set up. So as the laps went on, a little bit of a lock up there by O'Brien allows Weston to have a bit further to sneak through. He's got a good pace coming out of that corner.
He has indeed.
Can he do anything with it?
Matt Stalls in pit lane as well. Early stop for him. He's about 3 laps away from critical lap, so he'll need another stop to get home as well. It appears, is Damon Fisher maybe going to try and go for the strategy of pit on lap 29 and then pit on lap 30 to get home?
Yeah,
could that be the strategy of him? Oh, who knows?
Who knows? Blanchard just getting car sideways and Simon Haynes taking advantage. Simon Haynes has actually flipped the wall. So
here comes Doble.
Actually pan out.
Doble and Blanchard, they're side by side at the moment, down towards turn 9. Doble wants this move on Hainesy. He can't quite get there. Blanchard got the position back again after the clipping of the tyres for Haynes. Hedeshe's right there with him though. It's so tight between these drivers. This is all for P5 on the road. Corrected, it'll be P4 as Fisher's in pit lane now. So Damon comes in. We'll see going long how well this played off.
I wonder how he was going on fuel.
Well, the problem is he still needs one more stop after this, so it doesn't matter if he comes in on the critical. He always needs one more.
One more, kudos to Brad Doble then too. I reckon he did the right thing by backing out of that when he did, because I reckon that would have got pretty hairy if he forced that manoeuvre on Haynes at that point.
So Blanchard though running well here in and amongst this. I wanted to just highlight this battle pack. We watched it earlier between the front runners. These guys have not come unglued between each other. And that was Brett Taylor who just ran a bit wide there and clipped the wall. I think it was Brett. No, it was Matt Stoyles. Matt Stoyles running it wide there. Yeah. But these top two have not become unglued from each other the whole race. Cesar is stuck to the back of that Magan Turbo car for the whole 28 laps of this race. Now, they were separated for a little bit after the safety cars, but they're doing very well to stay together. Oh, my God.
Wow. what timing to actually just pick on that. But Cesar couldn't quite take a big advantage as he wanted to there. But yeah, you're right. What a fantastic battle these guys have had all throughout this race so far.
In fact, we've clicked away. They got even closer than in towards turn 1. They have just settled back down again. Both guys have got backgrounds in drifting as well, so we'll see which one of them tonight gets claimed and classified as the split 2 best drifter by winning a race where there's no drifting involved. That's the title I'm running with, Brett, is whichever one beats the other is the better drifter out of the two when they're not even drifting.
Is Mr. Drifter.
Mr. Drifter. Brett Taylor.
What happened to Mr. Drifter?
Oh, no, he's all right. I think he was just pulling up just to let those cars past him. So, once again, STK lying to me and telling me that people are crashing. Hasler is in. Still running closely together. They've got around about 11 seconds back to Reese Degoe in P3. But this is a very strong position here for the SLS driver of Reese Degoe, formerly of Performance Sim Racing.
Crosby and Clifton are having a great little battle there. I've seen their names swap a couple of times in the last couple of seconds.
Yeah, these guys have got
Crosby doing brilliantly without that front splitter.
What weight reduction, Brett? It's weight reduction.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, sometimes you want it, sometimes you don't.
No, this is true. And of course, you've already used your fast repair for a similar amount of damage on the front of your car, but you're running very clean at the moment with Twainey and Mulford in behind, which are actually lapped traffic cars. So you're not actually finding much pressure behind you at the moment, because the next car back for position is Matt Scholes. He's about 5.8 seconds back with Wade Reynolds on his heels. Shane Randall back up to where he started this race as well after the early safety car pit stop and getting caught up in the schmozzle of traffic mid-pack, so he's having a nice clean run tonight. Bush is doing well, up 16 as well, so it's good to see from him. Does still need another pit stop in this race to get home under the CPS rule. Viger, O'Brien also in some good gains as well, as is Weston. Hoffy in fuel save mode at the moment, I'm sure. Zippy's doing well, up 18. Ben Brook up 9. Lovegrove up 11 as well. As Jeremy Bush, we mentioned him too early, he's just had a big blink, and I think he might have just disappeared back to pit lane. No, he's back again, and he's back again just ahead of Rick Viger. So you have to be careful of that one. Luckily, Rick is not hot on his ginger, and he's a bit far away from him as Haynes gets the job done on Blanchard. In through turn 9. Heddersheet gets it loose in behind them as well. Oh, it was a tasty move from Heddersheet
sitting in the pocket there too.
He is. He's ready to take it. Yeah. He's almost sitting in the slips waiting for the catch, just like, I'll get you out with this one here. So he's waiting for them to make a mistake and try and fight his way through.
8 places at this point too, and he's pulling away quite easily from Blanchard there.
So we're just about on the halfway point of this race now. You mentioned Haynes up 10 at this stage. Clifton up 11 into the top 10. Degoe's up 3. He's actually having a very strong run tonight for Degoe. I almost feel, and I know it's very early for us to claim this, if Reese can stay on the podium tonight, he might be one of my front runners for driver of the day, because he's having a very solid run. Now, the car's not looking as clean as possible, but I don't think we can really put that against him at this stage.
Oh, well, it's not who's got the cleanest car.
No, that's true. That's probably going to go to the race winner, because it's whoever can keep their car the cleanest is going to take the win here at Long Beach. But Degoe's having a very strong run. Hainsey having a strong run as well, although he won it last week. He won it last week. So he's ineligible. As Tannick's into pit lane. So Bruce Tannick out of the race lead into pit lane now. So that now promotes Halil Cesar to lead this race. He'll take an extra point for leading a lap, but how long will he lead this race? He's probably got until about lap 40 before he'll need to come in for fuel. Oh, he's just made a mistake in towards turn 1. He ran it a little bit wide, clipped the tyre barrier. Might be feeling the pressure of leading this race early. He has got lap traffic behind him, but that car will need to get fixed up in pit lane.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's probably seen Tannick go in, and he's going, right, Tannick's in, I've got clean air in front of me, I need to make hay while the sun shines, and he's probably pushed that a little bit too hard.
Blanchard, Doble, Crosby, Scholes all into pit lane as well. So final stops coming It's an earlier stop. They're going to have to do a long run on tyres here to get to the end of this race, which is going to be a struggle enough because this place eats tyres like I eat at a Chinese buffet. They're just going to plough in the plates.
Flat out.
Oh, absolute flat out. Tannick's about to leave pit lane. He'll have
It's a long.
It's a long.
It's a lot of laps on you know, what is it, 32 tyres, 32 laps.
Yeah.
On one set of tyres. They are going to be hurting.
Oh, they will. They will. Tannick those on fresh rubber, much fresher rubber than Matt Monday, who we saw come in earlier with damage on his car. He's down about 8 positions in this race at the moment. Does need a second stop to get home as well, but he's pushing hard to try and make back up the time that he's lost through that pit stop gamble. Tannick will also be trying to chase down hard. Chad Weiger's right there with him though as well, as Haynes is in the pit lane now.
Yep.
Out of P3. So Cesar continues on as the race leader. To go, he's kept going in P2, header sheet in P3 at the moment. We'll see who else follows him into pit lane, and I think, who was that? Just came in, it was Michael Quain further back. So these guys looking to battle their way forward. So to give the comparison, there's a little Cesar. At the moment, he's just coming up towards turn 6. Bruce Tannick's around about 56 seconds back right here in a battle with Matt Monday at this stage, and he wants to get this move done.
Yeah,
he wants clean air. He wants clean air to try and chase down the gap that's been built up between him and Halil Cesar. Side by side across the line. He wants this move into turn 1 if he can get it. As they run round the corner. Oh, there's a bit of contact. Minor contact there.
And again,
a bit
and
more.
again.
Bit of touring.
And
Tannick. Oh, he's just clipped the wall. That's going to cost him massive time to the race leader, Halil Cesar. Monday's going to have to back up there just to let Tannick get the car spun back round again. But that might cost Tannick a position on the podium once the pit stops have been completed. There's the gap between them. Cesar's just started his next lap, and Tannick's only now just coming through turn 4. So that's arguably cost him the race lead through that moment there.
Oh, he would be absolutely. Oh, that was huge. I mean, that was 3 or 4 hits down that front straight. They just did not give each other any room whatsoever.
To go in Clifton now into pit lane as well. Wade Reynolds is in too. You're now in P3, Brett, so we'll give you some shine whilst you're on the podium.
How long? Who knows?
I love hearing you say "Go me." It's one of my favourite things when we give you some glaze.
I just can't wait to see how this all finishes.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it all finishes out. You're having a very solid race thus far, though, Brett. To be fair, and I'm gonna say early now. If you finish this race in the top 10 after that early damage, the lap 1 incident, you're going to be my second nominee tonight as well. If you can finish in the top 10. I'm saying it early, so the pressure's on now for you to perform.
The pressure is on, yeah.
I don't know if we can retroactively add pressure, but we'll do our best to do that.
I don't know. Why not? Just try. Let's see what happens.
See what happens. You don't know.
Yeah, my heart goes out to Tannick there. Like that was huge. Because that would have been really interesting to see where he would have after once Cesar and Tannick had all the field had been cleansed to see where they were going to be racing. So this is released Cesar now, where we had that little bit of little mistakes here and there. They cost so much. Cesar just trying that little bit harder than probably what he wanted to, and making that little error, damaging the car. So there's desperation all the way up and down the paddock at the moment.
Well, you can see here. Damon's.
Is my SDK not?
No, Damon's not at the moment.
Live.
Hoffy, Lovegrove, Burns are in. Just to give you the update as well, you can see here on the track map. So Halil says is highlighted as he comes up towards turn 9. You'll then see a little P with a purple circle around it. That is his projected pit out position at the moment, which is currently P10 on the road. When he pits, he'll lose about 55 seconds in the pit stop here, thanks to the long pit lane traversal time of the Long Beach circuit. So we'll see when Cesar commits to the pit stop. He's got 20 seconds back to P2 in Simon Headersheet. Bruce Tannick's got to get a wriggle on. He's got 1 minute and 7 seconds up to Cesar, so the projected gap between the former race leader Bruce Tannock and the current race leader Halil Cesar is going to be around about 12 seconds post pit stop time, and that's going to put a lot of pressure on Tannock to try and chase him down and challenge for the race winners. Hedesheed's into pit lane. Look at this here.
Gaggle of cars,
This here, very interesting battle pack for us. Reese DeGoey, who was P3 before he pitted, as he tries an outside line on Fisher. That was desperate at turn 8. That was so desperate. That's going to cost him the position to Chris Blanchard, may even cost him to Brad Doble. This is all the battle here for the corrected podium. It was a lock-up then from Matt Monday in towards turn 9, but he's kept it clean through there.
And is he going to back out of that one?
He has indeed.
He just backs out again.
Playing the smart game is Mr. Doble here.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
So this is the battle for what would be corrected podium positions at the moment. Currently, Chris Blanchard would be projected to be on the podium at the end of this one. Of course, Damon Fisher needs another pit stop to get home, as does Robert Griffiths as well. Chad Viger also needs a second stop too as the race leader's in. So Halil Cesar into pit lane.
Haynes in as well.
Yeah, Hainesy's in. Again, Weston in 2. Here's Tannock. He's only just coming up towards turn 5. So Cesar should exit pit lane still in the corrected race lead based on that moment with Mr. Tannock and Mr. Monday earlier in the race as well, as Cesar just comes to a stop.
Lap 37 of 63 completed here.
And Brett Fisher is leading the race.
Go me, look at me go.
Shane Randall now in P2 as well, so obviously yourself and him going long.
Randall's having a good one as well.
He's having a solid race tonight. He'll be hoping for another top 10 tonight. That's probably what the aim is for him at this stage. Cesar's just exiting pit lane now. He's going to exit with a world of gap back to Chad Viger, who needs another pit stop. To give you the gap comparison between Cesar and Bruce Tannock, Tannock likely would have been in the position of Chad Viger if not for that contact. The true gap, as Cesar comes through turn 3, is Tannock's only just entering turn 1. So that's the loss that he had through that contact with Monday, and it's arguably what's cost him the battle for the race lead at the moment. Now, I've just noticed as well the pit stop time. Cesar's taken a 25.99 second stop. Tannock took a 28.5 second stop. The reason that's interesting is they took the same amount of fuel on the first stop, so it looks like Cesar may have underfueled the car slightly here, knowing that there's gap between him and Tannock, so there may be some fuel save happening from Cesar here just to try and get this car to the next portion of this race.
Chad Viger doing well as well, you know, just sitting behind Cesar. So he's doing really, really well at this point.
This battle pack
it's intense, isn't it?
They've not left each other alone, have they? Blanchard, DeGoey, Doble, Hedesheed. Well, the Hedesheed's a bit further back. Fisher's in this one as well, but he's out of sync. He needs another pit stop in this race.
Needs another pit.
So the corrected podium at this stage is Halil Cesar, Bruce Tannock and Chris Blanchard. If there's a safety car, that will throw every sort of spanner into the works, including the 10 mil, as that will then bring this feisty battle pack.
You found it?
I found it.
You found the 10 mil?
I found the 10 mil. I found it. It was hiding where guitar picks go when you lose them into the realm of an acoustic guitar. It will bring Blanchard, DeGoey, Doble and Hedesheed all onto the back of Tannock and Cesar, which of course Cesar may not want that gap to drop to Tannock because of course he's got a nice gap at the moment, not under too much pressure, but it will put pressure on Tannock because these guys will be hungry to fight for P2 as well. They're hungry enough to fight with each other right now. They're not going to give up the opportunity at P2, you know, at any moment, as yourself, Brett, is into pit lane. As you come in for your stop, Randall takes the race lead and get himself an extra point for leading a lap as well. So Randall goes a lap longer, gets himself an extra point. You've taken yourself an extra point as well, Brett. And sometimes you've got to take advantages when you can. You've got to take the bonus points when you can, because they could be a big factor at the end of the season.
Yeah, certainly, and that was one of the things on my mind at that point. I knew the tyres were starting to go off. I knew it was past critical, well past critical, and I thought, yeah, righto, we're still going all right. The car felt okay. Yeah, so I thought, well, let's get an extra point. Plus, also that put me on fresher tyres than, you know, obviously some of the people who already had pitted.
So you'll also notice as well, our timing tower has shrunken a little bit tonight from when we started. Alistair Bales, Michael Jones, Todd Duggan, championship leader Trent Allen, Lorne Mackay, actually no, Lorne's still out there, but Trent Allen down are out of this race, and this is going to put pressure now on Trent for the rest of this season. He'll lose the championship lead heading into Portland next week. If the corrected positions finish how they are, with Cesar being corrected P1, he will lead the championship going into Portland next week for round 4 and getting a great gain over Chad Viger, Mick Clifton and Robert Griffiths. Brad Doble is the other benefactor, as is Chris Blanchard as Randall's into pit lane. So those are the real big benefactors of that. Where's Chad Viger gone? Oh, he's had contact and he's been in the wall. Oh no.
Oh, what a shame. He was having an absolute cracker.
Oh, night goes from bad to worse for Chad Viger. Yes. You know, after the dice roll, it's a real shame for him, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, no, my heart goes out to him for that. Yeah, he was doing really, really well. Oh, nearly getting caught up with DeGoey there.
On the other end of the Viger spectrum, Rick Viger is currently leading the race, so he also gets himself an extra point by leading a lap, just tucked in behind his teammate Nick Hasler at the moment, who is a lap down. Cesar now up into P2, Tannick and Griffiths in behind him, but Griffo needs another stop to get home in this race. Blanchard, as we said, is corrected P3. DeGoey, Doble having a strong run tonight. Heddersheed as well. Very impressed with Simon Heddersheed tonight. He's driving a very solid and clean race on the road this evening. I think we almost have to say, Brett, you know, we've obviously mentioned some of those drivers who could be nominated, your Reese DeGoeys, your Brett Fishers. I think we also need to take into consideration your Brad Dobles, your Heddersheeds, your Crosbys, your Cliftons, and maybe whoever comes out on top between them could also be one of our other nominees tonight as well, because I think Simon is having a very strong race, Brad's having a strong race. Darren has done so well to run as fast as he did without that front end on the car to keep this car inside the top 10. It's a fantastic effort.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. It'd be, I reckon it'd be what we're trying to say here. I reckon it'd be breathing a bit easier now with that front splitter back on that car.
Yep, I agree. I think, you know, Wade Reynolds could even be our little, you know, most positions gain nominee as well. He's up 22 and just inside the 15, so that may be his worthy nomination. I'm not sure, but you know, definitely plenty of time in this race. Definitely plenty of time for things to happen as Viger's now made his way past Nick Hasler to continue his race lead. Lap 41 of 63 at this stage of the race. Rick Viger leads, needs another pit stop though to get to the end of the race. Halil Cesar is the corrected race leader with 13.5 seconds back to Bruce Tannick, but there is a fuel save game happening for Halil Cesar. How quickly can this gap shrink between him and Tannick? And if there's a safety car called, what sort of pressure is going to be applied in amongst the pressure pot of the podium finishers?
It's game back on. You know, the field will compress, the tension will rise, and the crackers will come out again.
What sort of cheese in that scenario do you think we pair with the crackers?
I don't know. I like a Mersey Valley cheddar, aged cheddar.
Spoken like a true Mudgee resident there, Brett Fisher. The specifics of location of the cheese mixed with, and it's an aged cheddar. I'm a simple man. A good brie or a good blue cheese would do me with a nice cracker, I think.
Blue cheese smell like feet.
I love blue cheese. It's fantastic.
Oh, see, who was that in the wall?
Oh, who was that in the wall?
Was that Heddersheed?
No, I think that might have been. Was it Heddersheed? It might have been.
It was Heddersheed.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was Heddersheed in the wall.
Oh, what a shame.
Yeah, Clifton's got past, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, unfortunately, however you want to say it, but he's not done with it.
He's
so
trying to come back
what happened there, but I wonder whether there was any contact or anything like that. It was just maybe a little bit of too much throttle. Who knows? But it was definitely on that outside wall.
Yeah. I
The
think
damage
just a
is
slight
there, but there was-
clip. So I don't know how much damage is on the car in terms
Oh, well,
of
that's
performance.
been there for a while, I think.
Yeah. I'm not sure, but it could bring an effect. The steering looks slightly off as he entered the corner, but I don't know if it's too drastic. Maybe I had to nurse it home from this point. Have to really nurse it home strongly. No. Robert Griffiths is currently running nice and long here. He pitted on lap 20 of this race.
Sorry, DeGoey on the back of Blanchard's very, very close there. It was within 0.2 of a second behind Blanchard for a second.
Just continuing this strong performance tonight is Reese. Now, Blanchy's had a very strong performance as well. This has been a very impressive run from Blanchard. But I'm more so impressed by Reese because he rarely races because of his work. Of course, he works FIFO, so when he can race, he tries to race strong. Blanchard, I think he had a tough race one with the CPU flag issues and stuff like that. He could use a performance like this. He could use a podium finish that would really reignite his season. I'm impressed by Brad Noble. Darren Crosby's impressed me as well. Of course, we can't give nominations to the race winner. So if it's Bruce Tannick or Will Cesar who wins the race, they can't really be nominated. But I think both these guys have had a very strong race for sure, as is Brad. It's going to be tough for us to figure out who's going to be the 4 nominations we bring up, obviously, in 20 laps' time. And those 20 laps could be chaos filled, could be full of controversy. It could disqualify someone from being nominated because they make a mistake and they take someone out, but they finish in their position still. So, there's a lot of factors that could still be at play.
Plenty of things to unpack.
Plenty of things to unpack. I feel like I'm at the Australia Post International facility of just unpacking some packages and seeing what's inside. So, plenty of opportunity for things to happen. As Matt Scholes
just scan them
spots. Oh, you got to scan them first, of course. Of course, you got to scan them first.
There's a problem with course.
Oh, that's right. Matt Scholes has just dropped a couple of spots. This battle pack's really started to heat up. Crisdale on Weston into turn 9.
Oh, that is a good, solid pass. That was very game. Very good, solid, determined pass. And here we go. Look at this one on the inside there. Who was that? O'Brien got in the side of...
Oh, that was Scholes. Scholes and
Scholes.
I think that there was O'Brien.
Yeah,
and was that Rick Viger? Rick Viger's backwards there.
That's a shame.
So a couple of cars involved. It's taken a couple of those top 15 contenders out of it. And it's really heated it up back here.
Wow.
Wow. Long Beach never fails to disappoint me, Brett.
There's
I
something happening everywhere, isn't it?
There is. There's always something happening. You could never have a boring spot to sit at this track. You're always going to see something.
Brad's closed the gap on DeGoey, obviously.
Indeed.
So
He's done well to close this gap.
This is heating up again. 45 of 63 laps here at Long Beach.
And as we said, the pressure pot is still on high. Any small mistakes can cost you massively in this race. To give you the update of the gap between the leader and P2, it's now down to 11.6 seconds. So that fuel save's at a maximum right now for Cesar at the front of the field. Can he make it home on his fuel? If a safety car's called, it will get him out of the woods, but there is the caveat of Tannick's going to be hot on your heels on the safety car restart. So you got to be weighing up which is your preferred option. Do you want the stresses of trying to fuel save, or do you want the stresses of trying to defend your position? Honestly, I'd actually probably rather take the safety car restart stress because you can always defend position there. Bit hard to defend on your fuel level.
The thing is, too, that these tyres are going to be getting long in the tooth as we close further down in these laps. And these guys are going to be running, when we get close towards the end, nearly 30 laps on these tyres. So
there's also the point to think about as well. With Cesar saving fuel, his tyre wear won't be as high either as the other cars. So if we do get into a safety car scenario, he'll be better off with the tyre wear. Now, his tyres are newer than Tannick's. Tannick, of course, came in on 31. Cesar came in on 36. And Tannick had a lockup, which would have hurt the tyre wear as well. So this fuel saving obviously it's trying to save his race, but it is actually saving his tyres. So if we do get into a safety car restart procedure, it may give him some benefit when he leads the field away off the front of the field.
And look, quite frankly, I don't think Cesar will be feeling all that pressure, because obviously he knows that something's happened. Tannick's fallen off the back there a bit. He knows he's got a probably fuel save. That's his probably worst sort of thing that he has to think about. But he knows he's got gap, so the pressure's off at the moment. I think. I think Cesar's here to lose.
I think he knows as well. If we do get to a safety car scenario, the pressure's going to be more on Tannick than on him.
Yeah.
Because Tannick's going to have to push to get past him, where he can defend quite easily around here based on the limited amount of overtaking opportunities, and you can cover those overtaking opportunities quite easily as well. So if we do get into a safety car restart scenario, as I said, it's not going to be as much pressure on him as it will be for Tannick, who'll be hungry to take back that position and then take home the race win if he can get a sniff at the position. So
Griffith's, sorry, go.
I was going to say, we're lap 47 of 63. Griffo, we have to wonder when he's going to come into pit lane. His corrected position at the moment when he does pit, it is projected to be roughly P25 on the road. So this offset strategy would have at least gained him 6 positions in this race. But if there's chaos further back in the field and he's able to kind of run a bit more forward, he will get some more natural gain out of that. Those incidents that we saw earlier with Rick Feiger, Brendan O'Brien and co, that's helped him immensely as well. If we get somehow a track jam scenario behind him and he's able to run away a bit further, watch for him to come straight into pit lane, because he'll get the real benefit of making some free positions up through that period as well.
Well, I mean, there's lots of things floating at the moment in the air, isn't it? There, obviously Cesar and Tannick have got a decent sort of lead at this stage, but that could all, at the drop of a hat, change. And the battles that we're seeing through up and down the field, especially with these guys that we're watching at the moment, DeGoey on the back of Blanchard, there's just a lot of action. It's sort of settled down a little bit in this past midsection of the race. But I get the feeling that things are going to heat up as we get closer to the end of this race.
Yeah, there's almost an electricity in it, isn't there? There's an aura of
the static.
Yeah, a bit of static around it. There's Griffo's in the pit lane. Griffo takes his stop. He commits to it. His projected out position is around about P25 at this stage. So we'll see if he ends up there as well. It is allowing more cars past him as well, letting you back inside the top 10 here, Brett. And we'll also let Shane Randall into the top 10 as well, up 3 positions currently in this race. Wade Reynolds having a great run thus far. This will put him into P11 on the road, up 25 positions now. Chrisdale Hoffman should also get some more spots, as well as Weston Bush, Lovegrove and Cohen behind them as well. But as we said, there's a bit of a static in the air. You have a feeling that these tight battle packs, how long can they battle this closely together for before we have inevitably an incident between them and a safety car is called? It could be as simple as a money shift into turn 1. It could also be as simple as lock up your brakes as you make an overtake and you hit the wall and blow your engine, and all of a sudden the safety car's heading out on track. So it could very easily happen.
You're trying to put the curse back on me blowing another motor.
Well, you are known now as the investment banker, thanks to all your money shifts, but you like the stock market, Brett. The money shifts a lot with you.
Oh, it does. Unbelievable. Interesting to see the slightly different lines. Jeez, I'll tell you what, Blanchard gets a great launch out of that corner.
I have to wonder if he's running second through there, just to get the kind of limit the wheel spin through that corner and get the power down a little bit better as well.
I was running second.
Yeah, I know some drivers are running first, but I mean, I found it's better to enter in first and then you kind of short shift through the corner. That almost saves the wheel spin, because first will get you pulled up a lot nicer, but second you definitely get the drive through the corner a lot better, and again, you don't risk that tyre spin on the exit as well, as these guys approach the lap traffic of Brendan O'Brien up ahead of them. He'll let them go nice and easily here.
Oh, that's great. That's good to see him letting them come through. Shame Brendan O'Brien's down there.
Yeah. Mulford's in again, sorry to interrupt, for his 4th stop of this race. We saw him have a drive-through earlier, so he has traversed the pit lane more times than anyone thus far. He'll not like the back of his hands
Getting
at
quite
this
acquainted
point.
with it.
He is becoming quite acquainted with it. Derek Lovegrove's just had an incident as well. He's had a little spin down at turn 1. He's got the car going again, which is good to see. But we're also getting to that sort of notable time of around about 10 p.m. here, Brett, in race time. And this is where the mistakes start to be made as we get past the bedtime of these drivers.
Yeah, the witching hour of sim racing.
Yep. At least the witching hour of vet sim racing. Of course, there are some Kiwis out there too. So it'll be getting up at around about midnight for them. So there could be some mistakes coming their way as well. Do you want to take this opportunity?
Lady Brew.
Yeah. Oh, yes, get Lady Brew. Do you want to take this quick opportunity though to give a shout out to the vets?
No,
that was Mulford coming out of pit lane.
Yeah, coming out.
Give a shout out to the Vets Over 40s Championship starting very, very shortly. Sign-ups, I believe, are still open now to get into the Over 40s Championship. I believe they will have a pre-qualifying for it as well, Brett, because of the amount of drivers who are between the age of 40 and 49. And that will be running on Mondays this season. I believe it might be starting as of round 5, possibly the Monday before round 5. So we're not too far away from that starting up as well. Of course, you've had your finger in the pie of the Overage Championship before. You started in the booth on the Over 60s Championship a couple of times as well before coming in here to Split 2, as there's been an incident down at turn 1.
What has
Paul
happened?
Burns is trapped down there.
Oh,
Jeremy Bush, Damon Fisher as well. This could be the late break safety car that we spoke about.
Ooh,
this could be the game-changing safety car that not only saves Halil Cesar the fuel save, although he'll be fuel saving to a maximum right now, as there's also Adrian Zeal in the wall. Yeah, down at the fountain. Adrian Zeal's down there as he's just put it into the weeds as well. Oh, and the rejoin. That was certainly a rejoin there from Zippy. So this now opens the door to safety car restart territory. And how does this now affect the race here on out? Because Cesar, all of a sudden, that gap that he had to Tanek's now going to be shrunken to an absolute minimum. But he doesn't need to fuel save anymore. And his tyres are fresher than Tanek's because he's been running slower laps more consistently, and they're newer. He pitted on 36 and he's kept the tyres in check. For my money off this restart, Cesar, and we mentioned he's going to be on less pressure than Tanek will, but those fresh tyres are going to give him an immense advantage now over Bruce Tanek when we get back up and running once again. We're going to take this quick chance to give thanks to our series sponsor, Racecraft Simulations, for supporting the series. Head over to 16 Grogan Road, Perth Airport, chat to John and the team, check out some of the gear that they've got on the floor down there, and have a chat to them. If you've got the spare coin, make the purchase as well. We're back very, very shortly after these messages from Racecraft. Don't go anywhere. Safety car restart will be on your screens very, very soon. Great to be back, ladies and gentlemen. A massive shout out to Racekraft Simulations for being the long-time title sponsor here of the series. We mentioned that that residency once again of 16 Grogan Road, Perth Airport. Can go and chat to John and the team, check out some of the rigs they've got on offer. They've got some beautiful pieces, starting and integrating them with sim rigs of the coloured rigs. They look absolutely spectacular. If you've got the spare coin as well, invest in that PT1. It looks to be an absolute beauty of a machine. It definitely will be worth the investment if I was you. Also, though, we have to give a shout out to our other series sponsors too, of course, Logitech G, Parramatta Isuzu Ute, Player One Sim Gear, Nova Simsports, LGC Images, Südspeed gloves, and Chubby Buns Burgers for the Driver of the Day award. At the moment, we kind of chatted off air, Brett, of how we'd be looking to kind of nominate drivers, and we mentioned that whoever comes out on top between Blanchard, De Goey, Doble would probably get the nomination out of those three. Then we're looking more so to then maybe Darren Crosby, yourself, and then maybe Wade Reynolds as well, since he's got so many positions gained in this race. They're currently my four, you know, in quotes four, because it's Blanchard, De Goey, or Doble, then Crosby, then yourself, and then Wade. And I think that's a pretty good four possible names we could have in terms of solid performances. I think Mick Clifton's had a great performance too. If he would have beat Crosby tonight, for me, he'd probably get the nod over Crosby then. But you know, we can't give it to the race winner. So if Cesar or Tanek win, we can't give it to either of them. I think currently, because Tanek had that contact with Monday, I don't want to nominate him at this stage. But he has had a very strong race. So I think that there is obviously, we have to say that he has had a good race. He is P2. If he wins, he can't be nominated anyway. But I think because he got into that little tiff with Monday, that kind of knocks him out of it for me.
Yep. I'm on board with that.
So we'll see how we go off this safety car restart. To give you the breakdown of how everything stands at the moment, Halil Cesar has fuel to get home now thanks to this safety car. No longer needs to fuel save, but through the fuel saving that he did, he saved his tyres as well. His tyres are also 5 laps fresher than Bruce Tanek's in behind him. So at this stage, he's got less pressure on him from the car, thanks to the fact those tyres are nice and they're worn in, but they're not worn in as much as Tanek's. And the pressure's more on Tanek to have to try and get the overtake done. It's a circuit which is very easy to defend at if you know the defending lines. Cesar's got the pace to defend against Tanek. He's gone with him all race. You recall he sat right behind him the majority of the race as well. Could have argued he even had more pace than him, but he wanted to patiently wait for his opportunity. Tanek has that pressure on him now. For guys like Blanchard, De Goey, and Doble, they're going to be right there to pick up the pieces if something happens between Tanek and Cesar, or vice versa in behind them. So this
looks like we're going for another lap too with the safety car. It's well, we talk about the pressure building and all sorts of stuff. I mean, this is where it's at, you know. Like, I mean, we've got under 10 laps to go now, so when we get released, the hammer's going to go down and everyone's going to figure out what they've got and try and do their best to sort of gain any position. So, you know, we say safety cars breed safety cars quite often.
But I think race control are running this safety car period long, so we get to a lap amount where they can comfortably say we're not going to call safety cars, because normally the minimum or maximum is normally 5 laps to the end. They won't call it. I think they're trying to get it to maybe so it's 8 or 7 laps to go, and then they can say if you have an incident you can tow, but you have to still call it in. But they may not want to call another safety car here because it could cause chaos. So they're very likely running this long just to get to a period where they can say we've just had a safety car, we're not going to call another one for the rest of the race.
And either way, it's going to be pretty much a flat-out dash to the end of the race, and it's going to be pretty intense. I just get that feeling in my loins that things are going to get a little bit spicy.
I think there's definitely some capsaicin in the air. There's definitely a campfire happening here with how intense it is. And I think we could be on for some roasted marshmallows or possibly some s'mores by the end of this race, because the pressure cooker's on maximum.
Yep.
The potential here for headlines is huge. So your headlines would be Cesar's first win for his new team, his second win at Long Beach. For Tannick, it would be his first win in Split 2 this season. For Blanchard, it would be his first win in a while, which he can then take to his wife and say, hey, I can buy another part for my rig now because I won a race. And then Reese he could make a name for himself and win his first race here in Split 2. And Brad Doble could lock himself in as a championship contender by winning his second race of the season. So pressure's going to be on them. I noticed under this safety car, Cesar was practicing his line through the final corner. So he could very well have tried to set himself up here for a solid restart procedure. As he runs it round the final corner, power is put down and he's broken away from Bruce Tannick. So he practiced his line under the safety car and it's paid off for him in getting the power down out of the last corner.
Look at those top 3, 4, 5. Look at the gap. Like he split the field really, really well there. That was a great launch from Cesar.
I think he knows he has to keep it clean, but he wants to push because he wants to build this gap out. If he can get it out to above a second, that's going to make it so hard for Tannick to get to him because he'll be above the tow range, and then he just has to run consistent laps to the end. Gap's already out to 0.8 of a second, so he's right on the edge of the tow. If he can get it out to the 1 second marker, though, he will be over that, and he'll be able to just run away with things to the checkered flag.
He's almost there, 0.9, 8.9. Blanchard he's about half a second off the back of Tannick. So Tannick's got to watch Blanchard sort of like applying pressure to him. So, I mean, obviously he's going to have eyes forward, but he's going to start to feel that heat from behind him as well.
And you can see the pressure that's being applied on Tannick. We mentioned before the restart, all the pressure was going to be on Tannick. It wasn't going to be on Cesar as much because Tannick has to try and make the overtake. He's also got the pressure on him, though, from the cars in behind who are challenging him for that P2 position and are challenging him for these crucial points in this season. Start of lap 57 now. Gap is out to just under a second between Bruce Tannick and race leader Halil Cesar at this stage. It's been a tightly contested race. Cesar at times showed he had more pace than Tannick did. He also showed that he could match pace with Tannick as well when he was able to chase him down and just sit nicely tucked in behind him for a long period of this race as well. We mentioned last week the breakout podium for Cesar this season. He's now gone the next level above. If he can take this race win tonight, he's really locking himself in as a proper contender this season.
Definitely.
I mean,
and he's looking strong too.
He's looking very strong. He was top 6. He was a top 6 finisher last season. We mentioned he was the second seeded Split 2 driver coming into this season of those drivers who remained in Split 2 after season 23. So for Cesar, he's got the pressure on him a little bit to perform, but I think he's just having a fun time. He's comfortable, he's confident, he's got the pace in him, and he's got the surroundings which can promote solid performances, and it's already proven that this early in the season. For Tannick, his season's tough. He's had a round ban, he's got work to do. For Blanchard, he's got work to do. For DeGoe, he's got work to do. For Doble, well, it's a season to prove himself.
Yeah. I mean, he's had a solid race tonight. I hope he can complete that and sort of like tick that box and say, right, I've consolidated after a win last week. But I was just going to mention before, Cesar, that was a masterclass of a restart. Like, he has performed that to perfection. He's got 1.2, 1.4 second gap over Tannick. So he, like with the amount of laps now to go, he would be feeling really comfortable in that car. He's got enough fuel, as you said before. Tannick is under pressure from himself, from the race. Blanchard's not that far behind him. He's only just over half a second behind him. And Goey will be hungry as well. So to go back to Goey, he's a second. So there's pressure off the back of Blanchard is not there at this stage. So it's really in my mind, it's Tannick and Blanchard have got the biggest amount of pressure on at this stage in this group.
So fastest lap of the race as well for Halil Cesar on the last lap by 1:21.28. Again, good, solid bonus points on offer for him here this evening if he can get that done. He's already got the bonus point for leading a lap. We'll have to check the totals post-race and post-show to figure out if he gets the bonus points for most laps led as well. He has led quite a majority of this race, pretty much ever since Tanik came into pit lane. And then up until, so he led from when Tanik came into pit lane, and then led once Rick Viger came into pit lane as well. So the totals will be, it'll be pretty close between Tanik and Cesar on who's led the most laps. Of course, those drivers not coming in for earlier stops, that cost Tanik a couple of laps to be led as well. We'll see though where the totals stand, but I believe Cesar, by the end of this race, if he wins, would have led the most laps here, so he should get a bonus point for that as well, which again, crucial bonus points at the end of this one. Blanchard is all over Tanik though, putting the pressure on him to an absolute maximum at this stage. If Halil Cesar were to win tonight as well, it would mean the Ford Mustang has gone 3-0 this season, and we would yet to have a Camaro race winner here this season.
Blanchard to be tied by Z.
He is. He's, and I think he's putting the pressure on himself here to push, to put the pressure on Tanik as well.
Close the gap big time. 0.3 of a second behind him now. This is closing up big time here. He's got the nose out a little bit, down to about 0.2, 0.3. So he's definitely having a crack here.
He wants it.
So,
he wants to put the pressure on, and he wants to try and get this P2 position, which would really reignite his championship for Chris Blanchard.
Fighting on that wheel around that corner then. Just dropped a little bit back. Now watch, last time around, Cesar was 0.2 of a second faster. That time he was around about the same, 0.2, just a little bit over 0.2. So Cesar's just pushing out a little bit further.
We've just seen as well, Scotty Weston's just had a blink out there. We'll see if he returns to track or not. Hopefully he does for his sake, and hopefully he wasn't in front of anyone when he blinked out. He is in, is he in pit lane? Has it ping flagged him or what? I'm not sure. I think it might have ping flagged him possibly because he's dropping and dropping and dropping. And that's one thing that really plagued him last season was his internet connection. He finally got it fixed, and it kind of came with good pace as well. Because Weston's also just been claimed he's actually had a crash here. He is in pit lane, so the ping flag has sent him back there.
2.2 seconds now, so Cesar really dominating at this point of the race now, and it's showing. And Blanchard still on the back. The Goey's closed. Doble is also closed. So this is on for young and old for the top steps of the podium, bar the front one, I think.
Yeah, I think P1 may be out of reach at this stage. I think Cesar's just looking a little bit too strong in this race. He'll traverse the final corner. It will be 3 laps to go when he crosses the line to start lap 61. Bruce Tanik is feeling the pressure right now in P2 with Chris Blanchard chasing him down at this stage. Reese Tagoe, Brad Doble, Darren Crosby, Mick Clifton, Simon Hennessy, Brett Fisher, Shane Randall makes up our top 10 at the moment. But what sort of pressure is on board Bruce Tanik's car, because he's been caught out in some incidents tonight. Some arguably could have been said is his fault, others definitely not, especially just before the safety car. But he'll be feeling the pressure right now, and if he doesn't, I would say if he doesn't take this win, Brett, you can almost argue it's a win thrown away a little bit, because he looked very, very strong at the start of the race. But that's not to take anything away from Halil Cesar, because he's had a very strong race as well. He's been one of the strongest drivers on the track tonight. He was one of the strongest drivers on track last week as well, out at Road Atlanta. And at the moment, he looks to be the driver on form alongside Brad Doble, as just getting that little bit loose of Tanik has let Blanchard back in close, just slightly.
This is getting intense up the front here. A little bit of attitude on Tanik's car at the moment too. So he's pushing. He's trying the best he can with what he's got underneath him. And you see Crosby now closed up on the back of Brad Doble as well. So this pack is he's becoming feisty.
It is indeed. Blanchard wants this P2. DeGoey wants this podium. Doble wants to solidify the top 5 to make up for the race win last week and back up the performance. Crosby wants to continue a strong run over the last few weeks and try and gain some solid points here tonight. At the moment, when we look at the top 10, currently there are 3 drivers who came down from split 1 this season. Tanik, Doble, Crosby are all those drivers. As Brett Taylor and Matt Monday have had an incident at the final corner. So a couple more drivers have become victims down there. And that's a real struggle for them. I think as well, we have to give highlight actually, Robert Griffiths. He put that kind of dice roll strategy on board tonight. He's up to P15. Is he maybe someone we put forward, Brett? Do we maybe omit somebody and put Robert Griffiths in there? Because this has been a very good race strategy from him to get this performance out of that car.
Yeah, definitely. Look at this. So we're Club Blanchard and Goey, all under half a second of each other. So Tannick being a little bit of a cork in the bottle here.
Yeah, I think he's feeling that pressure. Maybe pushed a little bit too hard to try and chase down the gap earlier on. And that's now burnt out the tyres. White flag lap, final lap to go for Halil Cesar at the front of the field. Bruce Tannick looks to be race win gone for him at this stage, but Blanchard smells blood. He wants P2 if he can get it. Didn't make contact, but Tannick just ran it a little bit wide. DeGoey now on the inside line here of Blanchard, sneaks it up into P3, but it's big damage on the front of Bruce Tannick's car. Is this car dropping performance? Wow. And can DeGoey go one better and get it up into P2 after such a solid performance in this race? And that has now dropped the gap out to, or built the gap out now to 4.7 seconds up to the race leader as Lorne Mackay's just parked in the background, and Darren Crosby goes round.
Wow, it's all happening in this closing lap. Cesar has got it in the bag unless he absolutely screws it up in the last few corners here, but Tannick, is he suffering? He's trying to cover off. He's lost a splitter there.
Yeah, he's lost his splitter. DeGoey wants this movement. 9 up through into P2 goes DeGoey, but the focus has to go onto the race leader as he comes around the final corner for the second time in their team's history. For the first time in his new team, Halil Cesar is a 2-time race winner at Long Beach, and he takes his first win of season 24 as well. In dominant fashion, DeGoey home in P2, Tannick home in P3, Doble, Hedersheed make up the top 5. Clifton, Blanchard, Fisher, Randall and Chrisdale make up the top 10. Wade Reynolds up 25 into P11. Chad Viger, Simon Haynes, Darren Crosby and Robbie Griffiths up 16 into P15 in the end. What a race it was. A Long Beach classic for the ages. And for Halil Cesar, it's his first win of the season. And it's the championship lead going into Portland next week. Wow.
Wow, what a closing lap. That was intense. You know, like, I could have, would have, should have been, and some did and some didn't. That was an absolutely fantastic close to this race.
Well, it's about as close as we could ever ask it to be as the burnouts and celebrations begin for Halil Cesar, who takes his first win of the season. It's his first win in Split 2 in a long, long time. It's been a long time coming for him. He nearly got one at Interlagos last season, but just missed out to Sean Vandermeul. And right now, the second-seeded Split 2 driver of season 23 of those left behind is currently the top-seeded driver in season 24 of Split 2, now that he's taken his first race win of the season and has taken the championship lead as well. Just to give you, though, the provisional race results as they stand. Halil Cesar takes home the race win here this evening. That's fixed the round number. Thank you, Hamish. Reese DeGoey, P2. Bruce Tannick in P3. Brad Doble, Simon Hedersheed, your top 5. Mick Clifton, Chris Blanchard, Brett Fisher, Shane Randall, Robert Chrisdale, the top 10. Wade Reynolds, Chad Viger, Simon Haynes, Darren Crosby, Robert Griffiths, the top 15 with Matt Stores, Rick Viger, Nick Hasler, Tim Mulford, Ben Brook for your top 20. Shout out to Nick Hasler. That's a strong performance after a difficult night on the road for him. As we then move back, we see Derek Lovegrove in P21, Paul Burns, Adrian Zill, Matt Monday, Brett Taylor, the top 25, Andrew Hoffman, Bretton O'Brien, Scott Weston, Matt Scholes, and Michael Quain then for the top 30, with Lorne Mackay, Jeremy Bush, Damon Fisher, the previous championship leader Trent Allen, Todd Duggan, Michael Jones, and Alistair Bales at the back of the field as well. We'll get our quick nominations out there for the driver of the day, so let me just quickly write them out.
What a race here at Long Beach. You know, the concrete jungle, as we talk about before, we can see that a lot of people come to the to submission from the concrete jungle. You know, some of the big names in this split have been absolutely destroyed But then, you know, we saw some fantastic racing from Cesar, Tanik, and a handful of others. Well, the whole field really. But it's just, you know, like how intense was that closing stage after that safety car, that late safety car, it really heated up, and we saw Tanik come under pressure from Blanchard, and unfortunately Blanchard, you know, maybe just a little bit overzealous there, and unfortunately cost himself a position there. But wow, what a race! It goes down as a very big cracker.
An absolute cracker. The driver of the day nominations are in the chat as well. Reese DeGoey, Brett Fisher, Wade Reynolds, Robert Griffiths, copying the nominations here this evening. We only want to see those names in the chat for your nominees, as a couple of stoppies are happening here on the back straight, and the race leader or race winner may want to try and do that as well. So get your noms in. We only want to see those 4 names, only 1 vote per person in the chat as well. Thank you very much. We have got some drivers to have a chat to tonight as well, including this man right here in P2 on the road, Mr. Reese DeGoey, in what was an incredible performance for him this evening, as he made a move in towards turn 1 earlier on as well. Let's have a quick chat to him, Mr. Reese DeGoey of SLS Racing. Reese, congratulations, P2 on the road tonight. Top level performance from yourself. Made the move late there on Tanik. Took home the chocolates in terms of getting that podium. Mate, talk us through that one, because you drove a very, very solid race and a very, very consistent race as well, and one that is up there with some of your all-time best performances we've seen out of you in this series.
Yeah, cheers, Hamish. Cheers, Brett. I was sort of content with 4th until the bloody turn 1. And then when I seen Blanchard dive it up, or didn't dive it up, but he put pressure on Bruce.
Yep.
And then I see the way they bounced off the wall. I was like, well, I'm going to follow Bruce through, which was the right choice. And then, yeah, so just muscled my way through on Blanchard and took 3rd. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to take 3rd. That's happy. And then coming onto the back straight, I think with Tannock's injured car, I just managed to get past him on the straight, and then into turn 9, I think it is, just hold the line. And then, yeah, the rest was happy days.
Can confirm as well, Reese, the chat has decided that you are also the driver of the day tonight as well. So I just wanted to quickly get that up there while you're in here chatting to us. Yeah, as I said, you drove a very, very consistent race, very clean, very patient. And yeah, like, as much plaudits as it's worth, I don't know how much it's worth to you, but that was honestly the best drive I've ever seen out of you. So congratulations. That was a top level race from you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's good to get the nod for driver of the day as well. So that's, yeah, awesome.
Be your second driver of the day award 2 seasons in a row. Last time you had to share it with Brian. You get it on your own this time.
Oh, even better.
Who's a big boy now?
He is.
Oh, I know, right?
Well,
Yeah,
Reese,
like Hamish.
oh, sorry, you go ahead, Brett.
No, you're right. No, you go ahead. No.
Well, I was
You take it.
gonna say Portland this week, Reese. New circuit. A, are you going to be there, or is work going to get in the way? And B, if you are there, how are you feeling leading into this new track?
I've actually managed to score a working gig in the city now, so I'm not actually going to do FIFO again for a while, hopefully. So, yeah, I did jump on Portland last night for about half an hour to an hour. Tricky than I was expecting. But, yeah, I'll be racing the rest of the season out. So, yeah.
Well, hopefully being able to race out the rest of the season, you can match these sorts of performances. Brett, is there anything you want to ask Reese before we let him go tonight?
No, I was just going to say to Reese, just to sort of mirror what Hamish was saying, that you look really, really poised on the track tonight. You look like you could have been a threat at any moment, and as you said there, which I thought was perfect, that you were happy with 4th place at that point, and so that was, to me, was really sort of pinning down the driving conservatively, happy with a position, not overdriving the car, and just being an opportunist. So I think that goes really, really well, and congratulations on your driver of the day.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that was pretty much a mindset. Just keep it clean, keep it off the wall, and come through with a good result.
Well, Reece, it's a top-level result for yourself and for the team in the return to the podium as well. Let us know who helps get you out on track. Anyone you want to give a shout-out to as well. For myself, Brett, and the rest of the league, congratulations on your P2 here this evening out at Long Beach.
Yeah, cheers, guys. So sponsors, Share Genius, Spot On Ag, what do we got? Grand Designs, Minogue Fitness, and just the boys. They were actually away for the school holidays, so I was flying solo with our other rookie, Anthony Rivet. So, but yeah, cheers, guys, and cheers, Hamish and Brett, for the broadcast. And yeah, have a good night.
No worries, Reece. Thanks so much. Come and have a chat to us. Best of luck next week at Portland. We look forward to seeing how you go.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you. Well, next up on the docket, we have, for the second time in his career, a race winner here at Long Beach. First time he's a race winner for his new team as well. He got his first podium for the team last week. He becomes the team's second race winner in Split 2 as well in Halil Cesar this evening. Halil, oh, the big boy, P3 last week. We said, could you go one better and get P2 this week? Well, you went two better and you got home the race win and the championship lead to boot as well. Mate, congratulations. Talk us through that race because, you know, I was there for it. Not everyone else was, but the intensity and the pressure that you had to deal with in fuel saving for that last stint and the safety car coming out, coming to terms with the fact that your tyres were saved and you had fuel to get home meant that you could just push on. And the mindset that you were then able to take was you had a bit less pressure on you than what Bruce had in behind.
Yeah, g'day everyone. Yeah, I don't know. I might have to have a bit of a quiet chat with you about those fuel numbers, eh?
To be fair, you're officially a team member because I have underfueled everyone at least once. So it's a rite of passage amongst the team to get underfueled by me. So
look, it was. I think it was even without the safety car. I think it was going to be a bit of touch and go, but I mean, as you know, we had a bit of luck go our way with the times and stuff going on around us. But the overall, I don't know. Something about this track, I just clicked with it. I think the first one I ever did around here a couple of seasons back wasn't the worst result ever, but I think I still finished inside the top 10. And then one of the Split 2 races I did a couple of seasons ago, and we pretty much won it. And I sort of knew what I needed to do on this one. But yeah, look, I really enjoyed this track. I think as I was saying to you guys through the week with the teammates, you know, just stay off the walls, just drive to a set number and everything should come to you. I think that's how you get results here. But overall, look, I think the pace-wise, staying behind Bruce wasn't too hard, and wasn't, you know, like I wasn't really trying to push too hard into it because I knew eventually, you know, as the race goes on, being 63 laps, something's got to give. So, yeah, look, I thoroughly enjoyed that race. I, you know, it was really, really good.
Now, in terms of your championship, Halil, obviously it's now 2 podiums in a row for you. It's 3 top 10s as well. What's the feeling like? Because obviously we've said all season it's going to take 2 wins for someone to possibly win the championship. Portland this upcoming week, very similar track style to this one in Long Beach, mixed in with some Sandown features, some Winton features, and some other tracks in that one too. First of all, have you done any laps around there just yet? And if you have, what do you think is going to be some of the characteristics you're going to have to note leading into that race next week when we go racing at Portland for the first time?
Yeah, so I did some laps last night, and look, I haven't done enough laps, so I wasn't feeling the best, so I really can't judge it too much, but I am thinking it's going to be an eventful race. You know, normally when people haven't done that sort of a track, and I think many of us are in the same boat. But look, flow-wise, it feels good. I think there's passing opportunities in places where people make mistakes. And the overall, I think strategy will be a big part on the race overall, like at most places. But I think this one's going to be really the key because passing opportunities, there's probably only maybe 2 solid ones, and then the rest is like, if you are pushing someone, maybe you can make a pass, but you could be making mistakes following them as well with the understeer, with aero wash, happen to be part of what happens with these cars as an example. So, yeah, look, I do mind the truck, but I haven't driven enough to get a good understanding of it.
Well, mate, it was a solid performance tonight. Once again, you backed up your performance at Road Atlanta and went even better as well. Let us know who helps get you out on track. Anyone you want to give a shout-out to. For myself, Brett, and the rest of the league, congratulations on your race win here at Long Beach and taking the lead of the championship leading into Portland next week.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Yeah, cool. Yeah, look, just to follow on, yeah, this battle this year with all these guys, I mean, I was just saying to Reece before, the split 2 every season just gets tougher and tougher, and I think everyone's really brought it to this season a lot harder again to progress. The times are so close. I mean, throughout the week, everyone was so close, so it's pretty good. Going on to our sponsors, I'd like to thank the vets and the admin crew, Racecraft, the major sponsor, Infinity Motorsport, Infinity Broadcast, Blackheart Designs, WD-40, VRS, Motorsport Parts Australia, my major sponsor, Cooler Master. Without those guys, I wouldn't be where I am with what I do. My teammates, throughout the week, we've got a lot of practice going on and bouncing information off each other. So really thank you guys. Mark Horton, Mechanical, and basically all the competitors and the podium finishers. I mean, you guys make it what it is, and also your broadcasters. And it's absolutely a pleasure to be part of the team, and I'm really enjoying it.
Well, Halil, thank you so much for coming over chat to us tonight. Best of luck next week at Portland. We look forward to seeing how you go once again and seeing if you can continue this run of form and match the performances you've had the last few weeks.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, I'm hoping to just be consistent. So top 10 finishes for me, and I think that's is a good winning formula to have.
Oh, mate, 100%.
Congratulations, Cesar, too. So you're on an absolute burner, mate. And I just wanted to say that that race again showed the poise that you had, and you're looking like you're in champion. And I don't want to put the Mozza on you, but you're looking like championship form at the moment. I know there's still a long way to go in the series, but mate, you're cruising.
Yeah, no, thank you, mate. Yeah, no, look, like I said, I'm just trying to be as most positive about the direction that I want to go. Having these new teammates and all that, it's really changed my mindset. I think that's a little bit of the upside of it all. I've never really had that before, so I think having that alone has given me where I am right now, and just trying to be consistent. That's all I'm trying to do.
Good luck for the rest of the season, mate. Looking forward to seeing how the season pans out for you.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you so much. And again, guys, thank you for the call. It was great.
No worries, Halil. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
You too. Well, Brett, the pressure cooker's just turned up a little bit.
It has.
It's turned up a little bit on those contenders. It's turned up a little bit on the Camaro drivers as well, because the Mustangs are currently undefeated this season.
Oh, we'll get there. Something will happen. But I mean, look, we said, like after a couple of rounds, we'll sort of see how the season sort of starts to pan out, and who's going to be our front runners and all that sort of stuff. But like you said earlier in the before the start, at the start of the broadcast, there was I can't remember the numbers, but there was a lot of older sort of split 2 drivers in that front top 10. So it just goes to show, and the times are so close. I think it was like 34 drivers over a second. And so it's so close, so which was just showing in the racing and stuff like that. Yep, there's different levels of experience and luck and all that sort of stuff. And I don't mean luck as in, for guys winning or whatever it is, but, you make those small errors, you get those little damages, or you get caught up in someone else's sort of thing. So it is starting to build to be another great season. We need to probably see another and nothing against Cesar sort of taking out 2 wins at this point, but we need to see another few guys up the front taking a win, and that will build the further, the pressure cooker being turned up, and we'll have to ring the power company and tell them to, speed up the turbines or something like that, because we're going to need a bit of extra power to keep this pressure cooker going.
Can I give you a stat, Brett?
You certainly can.
The 2 seasons thus far that we've run Gen 3, both the championship winners in Logan Barnett and Matt Muggleton won round 3 of the championship.
Ooh. Now who's putting the Mozza on?
I'm not putting the Moz on. I'm stating the statistics of the last 2 seasons.
Well, there you go. There you go. This will be interesting.
It does.
Well,
in saying that, Logan's season was ridiculous. Like, most wins ever. He won. He won round 1, round 3. I think he won round 5. Like, he went on a very strong run. Last season was as close as we've had it. But round 3 was round 2 and 3 was really when Muggleton's form and his momentum started to pick up, and that was then when he started to control the middle of the championship. Very similar scenario to Cesar these past couple of weeks.
Yeah, and I think that's what the key point that you just made then is the control in the middle of the season, and that I think over the next 2 rounds, that's going to consolidate, and it's going to say, we're going to go, right, okay, this is these are the contenders, and it's going to see, or are we going to throw, different winners into the mix? We're going to see other people, raising up to the top of the pack, which is going to be same again. It's going to be interesting because they say, like, this is a tough track, and as you saw, a lot of good drivers taken out and didn't actually finish, and I don't think they even got to 75% for some of them, so all those little things are going to add up, and I can't wait. It's going to be great.
Trent Allen was one of them. The championship leader coming to this round didn't make 75%. So this is his drop round. He gets 0 for tonight. So the pressure's on him. I mentioned that if Trent can get a full season in, he'll be one to watch. He'll be a contender. He's already taken a race win this season. And he was leading the championship into tonight's race as well. Brad Doble is already proving he's going to be up there as well. If round 1 is his worst result of the whole season, then he'll be right up there all the way to the end. Halil at the moment is locked in for me as a contender at this stage. I think he's proven himself over the last
definitely.
I think the race that he had at Spa to go from a mid-20s qualifying position to get into the top 10, and then the last 2 weeks as well, he's got the momentum with him. I think if Griffo can figure out how to get this car qualified and get that car up the front, he'll be one to watch. I think Chad Weiger is a contender. I think Hainsey and Shane Randall are sneaky contenders as well. If they can get themselves some podiums, they're going to be up there. Same for Blanchard, same for Crosby, and same for Clifton. So I think there's a lot of names in it. The 3 names that I'm locking in now to be contenders throughout the rest of this season are the 3 race winners thus far: Brad Doble, Trent Allen, Halil Cesar. Because ultimately, to win Split 2, no matter how consistent you are, you need a race win to win the championship. And as we said at the start of the season, I think whoever can get 2 race wins or more is going to be the champion. I don't think it's going to be a 1 race winner. I think it's going to be someone who can take 2 or 3 that is going to lock out this championship for themselves.
Yep. And it's all to be unfolded. It's how good is it? It's good. It's been good racing.
How good is it? I think it's been absolutely spectacular. Damon Fisher saying top 10 shootout would be awesome for the last round. It'd be great, but we don't have the time because unfortunately we'd have to start qualifying an hour earlier just to do a top 10 shootout. So that's kind of the issue at hand for a shootout of that magnitude, especially with all 4 splits. It'd be way too involved for that to happen.
Yeah.
But Portland next week, Brett. Brand new circuit on the calendar. So new, in fact, I don't have any B-roll for it at the moment. I'm going to have to send Jay Kennedy a message and be like, can I please have some B-roll for Portland for next week? But I've seen a couple of races at Portland. It's going to be a tough track. It's going to be a tough night. Could be safety cars galore. It's a street track mixed in with a regular race track, very similar to Watkins Glen in that manner. So it's going to be a track that will test these drivers as well. Do we get a fourth different race winner by round 4 this season? Last season, we went the first 4 rounds with different winners. It wasn't until round 5 that we had our first multiple-time race winner of the season last season. So, I don't know. The stats say yes. So. The stats say we're going to have a fourth different race winner. Will it be a Camaro or will it be a Mustang? Currently, the Mustangs have got the momentum. Currently at 3 and 6 this season.
It needs to be a Camaro.
It needs to be Brett Fisher. That's who it needs to be. Because you race a Camaro, Brett.
Well, I am racing a Camaro.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm that fast. Oh. There was a breakaway. It was a breakaway race for me. This one, I was wrapped with it. I still think I need another 1 or 2 seasons at least to get my pace.
I think you're getting there. I think you are getting there, and I think having Brad down here in Split 2 this season is definitely helping you. If he does go back up to Split 1 next season, I think that'll be a good test for you then to see how well you go back as the sort of top seeded driver in Split 2 for your team. So we'll see how that pans out. But a massive thank you though to everyone. I'm looking forward to it too. Massive thank you though to everyone who watched along with us here tonight. If you're watching over on the Infinity Broadcasting channel, be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe, the bell icon as well. Next show on your docket for that channel is the VRS Porsche Cup Series round 5 of season 2 coming your way from Tailem Bend this upcoming Monday night, 7:50 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Myself and Brett O'Brien in the booth for 60 minutes of racing around the international circuit of Shell V-Power Motorsports Park. If you're watching on the V8 Veterans channel, be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe, the bell icon as well. As the next round that's coming up on your screens is the Split 4, Split 3, Split 2 action, all emanating from Portland International Raceway. Go and give support to Simspeed TV by liking, subscribing, and clicking the bell icon there as well, so you're notified whenever the Split 1 action happens live every single Thursday night whilst we're racing this season. But we also have to give a shout out, though, obviously, to all of our series sponsors, including our title sponsors, Racekraft Simulations, the other series sponsors too, Logitech G, Parramatta Isuzu Ute, Play One Simgi, Nova Simsports, Südspeed Gloves, LGC Images, and Chubby Buns Burgers for giving us the Driver of the Day award. Tonight, it's gone the way of Reese to Go Eat. Next time, it could go to you. But for myself, Hamish Munro, and Brett Fisher alongside, appreciate your time, appreciate you being here with us once again. See you guys next week for Portland. But until then, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.
The Racing Series is a new milestone in Logitech G.
All the great old wheels, the G29, the G920, the G923, they all have their own unique way of connecting to each other, but there's no room for expansion with those products.
So the question arose was, what if we were to give the opportunity for the racer to switch out from a drifting wheel to a GT rim?
With the wheel hubs that we've created, that's got a very specific button set, but you can replace any of the steering wheels.
And the real lovely aspect to this was we could give the user, driver and the racer the opportunity to experience different genres of race.
That allows drivers to craft high quality, customized setups that resonate with your individual racing style.
When we start with the design, we always start sketching. Very often, once we've got sketches, we start discussing with engineering.
We had 3 rounds of engineering testing or user testing where we invited in users from sim racing, and every single round of feedback we refine, the product based on what they tell us.
In the sim racing lab, again, we're going to use data to really analyze what a driver needs. We've used everything from eye tracking to the inputs from the pedals, the inputs from the, let's say, input devices, the wheel and the pedals, the shifter. We're taking that and we're compiling it so that we can build different products based on those individuals' needs for all consumers and all drivers.
I don't know of anyone else in the industry that's actually doing this kind of research into their products to see how their products are affecting performance of their users.
We've built the product to make sure that it's as reliable as possible.
So the innovations in engineering that I'd say we're most proud of is the sequential handbrake and shifter toolless changeover. This is now a patented system, so it's really easy for the user to just switch between modes.
If you give people the tools to do what they want, they will.
They will just go off and have fun.
Introducing the Racekraft PT1, custom-built full chassis racing simulator. The design project, codenamed The Cage, an 80/40 extrusion chassis sitting on top of a Sigma Integrale DK2 Plus 4-point full motion actuator system. No compromises in the cockpit of the PT1 simulator. To maximize the experience, we start with the 49-inch ultra-wide monitor for the greatest field of view in a small footprint of the simulator, down to the SimuCube wheelbase that's tucked up and behind the monitors with SimCore extensions to get things out of the driving area. Everything is connected to a Cube Controls GTX steering wheel with the built-in dash and all the extra button functions available at your fingertips. Driving through the Raceworks S1 pedals, the potentiometer throttle and the 2 hydraulic pedals for brake and clutch ensures you maximize the feel underfoot, and seating yourself into an OMP HTER bucket racing seat with OMP belts connected to a G-belt tensioner to provide that extra feeling and the heightened experience while you're driving. Additional interfaces and accessories in the PT1, we have twin butt kickers, one on either side of the OMP seat, as well as a Jinx sequential shifter, the SimPush Race Logic timer to the left-hand side, a Racecraft built-in WinSim kit with Philips Hue lighting and a built-in soundbar, plus the OMP side net to finish off the experience in the PT1. The Racecraft PT1, build number 1, the ultimate in sim racing experience, combining the best products in the market with the passionate, no compromise approach that goes beyond racing simulation.